Stocks back to the upside here this morning. Futures back in positive territory for both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Yeah, no big dramatic non-farm payrolls print to talk about here at 8:30 this morning. We typically would have received last month's jobs data, but no such luck with this ongoing government shutdown. That's how things are setting up currently for the Nasdaq at this point. We did get private payrolls going back to Thursday morning. That was a little bit to the downside, if you remember, but no indication as to when this is obviously going to get wrapped up or when we will get more data. That being said, it's worth noting coming up at 9:45 this morning, S&P Global Composite PMI data. That will actually come through. ISM Services PMI and employment data for September, that will also come through. So 9:45 and 10 o'clock. Just a heads up, there will be a couple of prints to keep an eye out for this morning. Boeing back in the headlines here this morning, 777X. I was just reading, delayed once again, not really causing much of a move for the overall stock, but we'll keep an eye on Boeing as the morning progresses here. Tesla, big day yesterday with the deliveries coming out. I mean, just about this time yesterday morning, it was a sell the news kind of event the entire day. We are trying to bounce a little bit here, back to 440, 445. A lot to discuss. The overall market in focus, I think, a little bit here this morning as well as we continue to drift back to the upside. Michael Moss coming up. He's going to talk about what happens when the market's up so many months in a row, what we can expect maybe going forward after that. Adara's in the seat beside me this morning. Good morning. Sharif with the day off today. Good to see you.
Yeah, great to be here. And I think such an interesting day, lots to discuss, even though there weren't a ton of big news stories this morning, guys. We do have a lot of continuation plays. As Brendan was talking about there, the fact that we don't have this NFP, that's a little bit significant. We know Feds Goolsbee and Feds Collins both said on Tuesday ahead of the shutdown, if we don't get this data, this can impact how we're making these decisions with regards to rates, because we know they do have that meeting and that decision on October 29th. So this could have some implications going forward. Now, Tesla, of course, on watch as well, selling off potentially because these numbers were excellent yesterday, but also some people were speculating maybe they were only so strong because of the winding down and conclusion of the tax credit. So how is it going to fare for Q4? I think that'll be the real question.
Yeah, the Cybertruck landing in Qatar as well for the first time. So, I mean, expanding, which is great. They're everywhere, it seems like, downtown in this city at this point. So definitely moving into new markets, a good thing. Here's Oracle, a little bit of a sell-off in the last 15 minutes here or so, not much. Big day yesterday for Oracle. There was a breach, a data breach they reported late in the day yesterday. Didn't cause any movement on the stock, but one of many that could be strong going into the weekend here. Neil's back with us this morning in the chair. Good morning, guys.
Yeah, good morning, everybody, and I guess we got to face the Yankees. Boo.
Yeah,
but
that's okay.
That's fine. You talk about continuation plays. The continuation of the U.S. government looking to get stakes or make deals, that continues. So while you're on government shutdown, day 3, I guess, USAR gets the bump today. So rare earth metals are in the mind. They're up 13%, no questions asked, looking pretty strong. The quantum names are going to be in play as well. And maybe we got a little bit of a bounce back day potential for Tesla. We'll see. Because sometimes it's buy the rumor, sell the news. It rallied into the number, and then it just found the high. So we'll have that one on the radar as well. But look, a lot to look at. When it comes to the Fed data, I kind of feel like, you know, they weren't sure what to do anyway, so maybe this gives them an excuse to continue to say, yeah, we have to wait for the data. When you were already getting decreased chances of maybe getting more cuts, this might give them the cover to continue down that line. But it is what it is. Like, as the shutdown goes, for the overall market, it's been a little bit of a nothing burger, but it would be nice to get some of that economic data, sort of see where things are flowing. But it's fine. The last couple of times we've had shutdowns, it hasn't been all that bad.
We got the Yankees.
Yeah, we got the Yankees.
Yeah.
I didn't want to face Judge.
Is what it is.
What are you going to do?
Saturday at 4 o'clock. I think Vladdy plays better against the Yankees, is what they were saying.
Does he?
Anyways. I mean, that's what they were saying. I don't know if that's true or not, but hopefully. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, both games are 4 o'clock.
Okay. That actually works out pretty good for me. So, okay, good. Happy with that one. I guess you'll be going to both of the games, I guess?
Well, that's the plan.
Yeah, good.
That is the plan.
Yeah, well, the plan will happen. Nvidia up 0.4. Apple got, what was it, downgraded or something? Their price target cut a little bit there for Apple. So they're the one that's down right here today. Could battle back the rest of the day. Yeah, I was wondering if yesterday's Tesla move, obviously way too much. And today bouncing back, whoa, what was that? I guess, yeah, I've maybe have to wait to see if this 436 winds up holding. I mean, yesterday was like a disaster du jour to start, just woo, and then it never caught a bid. We tried to go long at that 200 period. That did not work out on that break. But yeah, 440 right now for Tesla looking pretty good. Trying to find some ideas again here today, guys. I mean, IBIT could be something as we're pulling back a little bit right there on IBIT. So getting, close to all-time highs again on this name. Of course, as crypto over the weekend, you want to hold short? I don't think so. Up to 120 right now, so that could be a decent look long here as well. But yeah, it should be another fun day. It's a Friday. Volume should still be there. It sucks that there's no jobs market data out, of course, because that would have given us some sort of juice to do something here. But yeah, though we'll keep our ear to the ground. We got Michael. He'll talk about, like what Brendan said, so maybe some ideas moving forward and what to do after this major run. I mean, the market is absolute. Quantum names, it can't be stopped. Yeah, nothing can be stopped right now, actually. It seems like Reddit was back.
I'm just joking.
Well, DraftKings,
I don't know how
it might have found a bottom. So we can. Yeah, I don't know. It's $35 for DKNG. I don't know. Yeah, last night we had that upset. Obi, I didn't even give him the spread or anything last night.
He called the game?
Yeah, well, he didn't know how many points were for a touchdown or anything like that. So I was like, there's no point in giving him the spread. Yeah, and then I told you he didn't know any Jays names, and I gave him Vladimir Guerrero, and he still didn't.
No, well, no, that's not what's tripping me up. What's tripping me up, he didn't know how many points were for.
He said maybe about 5.
He's trolling.
No, he's not trolling. He's not. He's
that's a troll. I mean,
no. He really did not know. But he picked San Francisco, so he picked the upset, and he didn't know anything about the spread or anything.
But even better, that thankfully, 19% of our Survivor League picked picked the Rams as well. I'm really surprised. So we do really well because we didn't pick them, so we still are laughing. But 20% of our Survivor pool.
Yeah, we got to figure out who we're picking.
2, 3, and 1 teams. I don't even understand that bet. But I don't know. To me, it felt like a trap game, like an obvious sort of trap game. Like San Francisco.
Yeah, I would never be. I mean, it's an interdivision game. Yeah. I don't know. I think that was a shout out to the 49er.
Well, DraftKings wasn't bad.
No, it's not the greatest.
You
have held 35 bottom yet or not.
Yeah,
Big Bear AI is 4 or 5 straight up days right now. So that's Big Bear AI, another 2% here today. We had a negative note there about Palantir. I don't think they're going to shrug this off, but maybe that's something about one of their programs not working the greatest there. We have it in our notes. But anyways, Palantir downside. That might be what is creating a little bit of Big Bear AI love. Is Microsoft breaking 520 yet? Yeah, that's going to be a wait on that one too. Yeah, Mac Jones. Yeah, NFL in London on Sunday. I know. It's Minnesota stayed there. So I don't know what's up with that, Minnesota. My AirPods keep disconnecting. I wonder if they're charged enough. They should be. I'll get it figured out.
Ooh.
Anyways, yeah, Reddit was bumping a little bit today.
Yeah, Reddit's bumping up. Reddit has held that 200 level. So a couple of stocks, we were just talking about DraftKings a second ago, and DraftKings trying to hold on to 35 in there after a couple of rough days. But Reddit, that's a double bottom off $200 on Reddit. So obviously it hasn't been that great for them. It's good. Yeah, I can see this rebounding nicely. Not enough volume. Well, it's decent. I guess it's a good volume pre-market, relatively speaking. Not a ton. Not a crazy amount of volume. And there's no particular catalyst that I'm aware of here. Oh, no, they just said in my ear that it's making highs.
Yeah.
But this might be worth putting on the back burner of symbols for maybe some continuation plays, if that can go. Because there's plenty of room for it to get to 218 here. So yeah, maybe add this one to the list of things that we need to watch. And let's go back to the desk. I know we have the NOS boss info.
This ongoing rally for the overall market here. We're in month number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right now to the upside for the S&P 500. So what happens after that? We'll take a little look here. Bring him in whenever you can, Andre, and we'll touch base with Mr. Noss. There he is. Happy Friday, Michael Noss. Good to see you.
Happy Friday.
Happy no jobs data, non-farm, nothing today. So anyway, positive to end the week here to start anyways. But let's zoom out. Let's zoom way out. Talk a little bit about this monthly time frame rally for us. What should we expect here coming up?
Yeah, it's one of those times where I'm like, I don't know if I've seen 6 months straight up in a row, so I should go back on a chart and look and see what normally happens. And it's one of the beauty of technical analysis is you could look at this chart and say, wow, this is really overextended right away. But instead of just looking at that and kind of guessing, you can go back pretty easily and try to find out what happens when that normally happens. So with the help of ChatGPT, I actually just built a little indicator, and you can see that on the next chart on the lower bit, and it's a shark chart. I don't think there's that many shark charts out there, and I think we should see more, and just drew a line and said, okay, what happens when we're up 6 months in a row, 6 green candles? So that chart, the more up in a row, you get more and more in higher bars, and then when we have one down bar, it just resets. So I just drew that purple line to say that represents 6. So anytime we are up 6 months or more in a row, I just wanted to see and highlight. I just drew an orange circle around that candle so we can just all look together and see what normally happens in that case. And, you know, the first one we see is from 2021. We're up 6 months in a row. I think we all remember 2021, people selling pictures of rocks for millions of dollars, and you know, all the craziness, crypto punks and NFTs and all of that. And although there was a down month and a pretty sizable down month after that, it didn't mark the top. That wasn't the thing that topped us out in the overall market. We still had another 2-3 months higher, and then we had obviously the Russia, Ukraine, and inflation and all that stuff coming through, and that caused that particular down market there. Next one here, and we'll go quicker through these because there's more than you think. 2018. So this was, funny enough, after the last Trump administration, and I think 2017, 2018 was the least volatile year in history. And you can see after 6 months in a row, we move up a little bit more, and then we start some consolidation and bear markets and things that happen after that. Next one here was 2013. So this is after the great financial collapse. So you can see, generally speaking, when all of these generally occur, it seems like after some sort of bear run, you have this kind of 6 month push up as a way for people, I don't know, getting out of shorts or getting into names. And just like the other ones, this didn't cause a top. In fact, right, 2014, 2015, 2016, we continued to scream higher here. Now, the next one here is 2011. So this would be a little bit before. Again, we're talking right after the 2009 was the lows of the great financial collapse. So this is kind of on our way out of that lost decade. And this was the same thing. It wasn't the top, but you can see, and this is the kind of scary part, I guess, is a lot of these seem to get close to the top, except that 2013 one, but not necessarily marking that particular top. So a sign of potential, I guess, exhaustion is coming, but according to these charts, might not be here yet. Now, the next one here is 2007. So this is before the great financial collapse, and we had a little bit of steam left in us before everything started to kind of fall apart there. And then last but not least, we have to go all the way back to like 1995. There was a big gap there. And then we had another one in 1995, but this was kind of the dot-com bubble. So if people, and I hear there's a lot of comparisons out there to the AI, what's going on in AI and what's going on in the dot-com, well, 6-7 months up in a row in the dot-com bubble led to another doubling before we actually had that kind of bubble pop and that implosion. So the main takeaway I want to give is that there was not one instance that we went and that was like the very top. You're up 6 months in a row, and I think 6 months is significant. I'm not going to do this for every period, but I think 6 months is significant because it's half a year. It's 2 quarters worth of data, and we just ended a quarter in September. So there's 2 full reporting quarters in this bull market, and it sometimes got near a top, and maybe there was a top in another couple months from there, but it was never the top. It was never like we were up 6 months and then we just kind of collapsed after that. So really, I look at it, and sometimes you look at something like this that occurs in the market, and there's a really interesting, like, glaring sign, like this is very bullish or this is very bearish. But just like when I brought the data of the government shutdown, it's kind of just a mixed bag. So we just need to pay attention to what's happening on the shorter term time frame and go from there. I don't think there's much data to be gained from the fact that we're up 6 months in a row.
Yeah, it's hard to, or it's easy, I guess I should say, to put too much weight almost into some of these factual numbers that are being thrown around when you get into certain market conditions that haven't happened maybe for a long, long time, or happened a lot, but haven't happened for a long time. So something like this, is there a takeaway, I guess, is what I'm trying to get to here. Is there a takeaway that we can say, okay, if I was thinking about maybe taking a little bit off of my Apple, or if I was thinking about maybe taking a little bit off of my Tesla or something like along those lines, I'm not saying do it today, but we could be getting into that period.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we noticed from most of the charts, right? 2013 and 1995 being the exceptions. In most cases, you're getting close to a top. And when I define a top, I don't mean that it just all implodes and we give it all back, but we get to a kind of congestion period, maybe a couple months of just digestion, rotation, moving on. So that's kind of my biggest takeaway from this, is that any investment that I was looking to potentially take some profits off of over the next few months, I think I'm going to do that. And it might just be something like, I'm going to tighten up some stops, or I'm going to, move a trailing stop on a name that's moving higher or something like that. Just knowing that, again, 6 months up, 2 reporting periods, that's a lot, again, according to the data based off what we're looking at here.
Yeah, another concept that I've read a couple of times and heard a few other people talking is this, essentially the simple fact that if you were considering maybe adding to an AI play, or adding another company as an AI play at this point in this rally, maybe you don't do that now without taking some off of Nvidia or Microsoft or something else in that same category. So yeah, go ahead if you want to add a smaller AI play just as a flyer, but at this point maybe don't do that with extra capital and just take some off from something that's in the money.
Well, and that's the rotation we talk about all the time in institutions. And I think it makes perfect sense to do it yourself. Like maybe, I brought biotechs to you guys, I think like 2 weeks ago, and those have been doing well. I've been doing a lot of, pairing off positions that are working and spreading that out into different industries just in case. And I think that makes perfect sense, is maybe it's not the time to add risk to the table, but maybe it's time to spread risk around by taking some chips from some names that you made some good money on, and then kind of spreading that out to things that may be more defensive if there's some sort of pullback or something like that. So you're not really getting out of the market, you're just kind of spreading your bets around.
We deal with the market we're handed on a daily basis and ongoing basis as well. Michael Noss, great stuff. Have a great weekend. We will touch base on Monday.
Have a good weekend, all.
Thank you there, Michael. And I saw a few people in the chat. As you guys were literally mentioning randomly Apple, maybe trim a little bit of Apple. Jeffries has downgraded Apple, and Apple actually made a bit of it's already down 1%, but there was a bit of a dollar candle to the downside. But Jeffries sees 20% downside in Apple and has downgraded them. That would be the story there, and also keeping an eye on Plug Power as they got an upgrade. And speaking of said upgrades and downgrades, let's see if either one of those made the list with Joe.
That it did, Neil, that it did. All right, guys, let's take a look at what we got going on. Happy Friday, first and foremost, all right? So Levi's, guys, getting the upgrade by Telsey Advisory Group. That target has been raised to $27. Now, Monolithic Power also getting it by Citigroup as well, too, guys. Getting that price target raised to $1,100, and it's positive on the morning. Now, Goldman giving the upgrade to Amazon, price target raised to $275. Coinbase also getting the nod as well, too, guys, by Rothschild & Company. That's going to be a price target raise to $417. Now, on the downgrade side, we have TD Securities downgrading BlackBerry lowering that price target to $5. And then BMO by Royal Bank of Canada, no specific target there, but going from an outperform to market perform there. And then Jeffries, yes, downgrading Apple there, guys, lowering that price target to $205. Now, Bumble also getting the downgrade as well by Goldman, lowering that target to $7. Now let's take a look at some of the options activity on yesterday. Yes, we know that Tesla reported its deliveries and the volume was coming in a little bit higher than what we're trading at right now. That's going to be that $170 strike price, putting in 144,000 contracts. Now, sorry, that's the 470, guys, not 170. And let's take a look at the options chain here, and you can see that's your delta all the way up there. It isn't displaying itself right now, but it's relatively lower, so we'll put it in between there, whether it be 0.5 or a little bit lower than that. So not too bad of a look. That's extremely out of the money currently. And then UNH also lots of volume yesterday, 4,500 contracts, and the open interest still lays at that $355 strike price. Let's take a look at the options chain and just correlate our deltas with that 355 strike. And that's going to be in the money. So it's going to be a little bit higher, still sitting around that 0.42 delta. Now, as for Oracle, volume relatively light, 20,000 contracts at that $300 strike price. Again, these are all expiring this week, but the open interest still sitting around 10,700 contracts, guys.
As always, thank you there, Joe. Coinbase had a pretty good couple days, but it's actually UNH. You mentioned that 355 strike. Well, hopefully you don't see that price today, but it being a Friday could keep it maybe contained to the 360. Look, healthcare has been strong, whether it's the pharma names or just healthcare in general. UNH, it's really poised to break out this, maybe next week, we'll see, this 360 area, because it's been straight shot to the upside. The second time that it held 300. The first time it held 300, no good. The second time it's held 300 is looking very good. I think we get a shot next week or in the next couple of weeks at that $400 level, that 200 period moving average. So I don't know if we break it out today, but if it doesn't break today, certainly you're looking for it on Monday, Tuesday, somewhere early, as this one's been on a quiet tear. I want to say there is no like 5-10% days in a while on this stock. Maybe we get one of those when this finally breaks out away from this 360. 363, the local high here on UNH. As I said, not really sure we get that today on a Friday to try to blast through 360. The market literally just went to zero, the Nasdaq, so it's now flat. It just gave up everything that we had overnight. So I'm not sure this breakout happens this week, but I'd want it next week for sure.
All right, so for me, it's funny because you just talked about that Apple, and Neil's like, Apple started to move. But yeah, this is the one today, if you're looking short, in my opinion, that does get the downgrade there from Piper. And I wouldn't be trimming any of this, but if you guys are interested in doing that, it makes sense. You're just up to these levels again. So you're looking, excuse me, you're looking for a breakdown, but below this 250, I guess 253 area right in there. I'd rather actually short this if it breaks 250. So that might be like a Monday or Tuesday thing. Like, it's just too key of a level to go short, like, because if it pops back up, fine, but I don't think you're going to get that kind of a move today in the market. So for me, for Apple, it's just one of those looks. We did get a question as well. I think Lululemon, I've talked about this a little bit there. Nike starting to head back up to the upside a little bit off their report as well. And to me, it's like Lululemon could be setting up to go. We talked about that 180 break the other day. It happened, but then came right, actually it must have been this day here, happened right off the jump, and then, excuse me again. There's just a frog in my throat. Like, I feel completely fine. 181 down to 176. All right, let me pass it back to Brennan because I gotta.
We'll get you some tea.
No, I feel fine. It's like there's just like a frog.
Oh, okay.
Take a drink over here.
That happens.
All right.
Before we go back to Brennan, David's got a super chat already here. So thank you very much. Also, I was highlighting this. I want to send this to Joe Pelican. Joe, Joe can hear me right now, so I'm saying it loud enough to make sure you hear. More open interest duration of the session, please. So like maybe we can have some of that and go to Joe maybe in the middle of the day to get some open interest on the options, which we can always do that. That's what we're all about here. Morning, y'all. USAR. He says cough because you were coughing, I guess.
I don't know. USAR has been a hot stock for a while.
Cough, quantum all day, Sean's TQ, Palantir to use as barometer. Yeah, I think those, I couldn't decide between those two, USAR and the quantum. So I kind of had both Rigetti and USAR. They're so very similar setups. And what looks like a bullish continuation play in USAR, like it broke out the high. I guess we'll talk about this, but like broke out the high, and now you're looking for a continuation day. And then Rigetti literally has the same thing, like broke out the high yesterday, and you're looking for a continuation long. They'll pull back into prior high. So I feel like both of these, whichever one you like, and I'm saying Rigetti because I don't know, I just like trading Rigetti, QUBT, QBTS, like whatever, IonQ, whichever one's your cup of tea. They're more or less very similar. But yeah, both those names look very similar. So I'm with you there, David. It's just a matter of picking one off the open. I'm kind of leaning toward Rigetti because I've actually ever traded that one before. But yeah, both those look really good. Let's head on back to the desk because, you know, a lot to cover.
All right, a couple other things to keep an eye on here this morning. This one had a huge day yesterday, AMAT. Not really doing much here in the pre-market this morning. Applied Materials, though, coming out warning of a $600 million hit from expanded U.S. export curbs, specifically for China. If you zoom out far enough, go to a daily chart, go to a weekly chart, still a little bit of weakness left in this. We did have, with the overall market, some strength coming back into AMAT yesterday. I mean, crypto kind of moving around a little bit here so far this morning, back to the upside, multiple day run for Bitcoin. So we're right here at 68.50, which is essentially where we went out at the end of the day yesterday. But I mean, anything related to crypto, kind of looking the same so far here this morning.
Circle was really strong yesterday. Coinbase, too, I think, of those crypto-related stocks, but Circle up more than 10% yesterday and actually holding up relatively well this morning. We know there's been a lot of talk about potential stablecoin use and expanding side use of stablecoin, so that's been a really good look. There was that Token 2049 conference this week, so CRCL is definitely going to be on watch, I would say, today as well, with that in mind. Now, with regards to Applied Materials, kind of go off of what you said, the stock's not really reacting too much to those guidance concerns, and Cantor Fitzgerald basically shrugged it off. They reiterated overweight rating, saying that, you know, obviously the company's messaging right now surrounding the situation is not great, but they really only expected to impact the revenue by 2%.
Yeah.
So they're saying this is probably nothing burger.
And I think that's the key. It's a decent number, but it's not massive. Thank you for the reminder on Circle. I was reading this morning on Circle as well. Rothschild initiated coverage on Circle. With a neutral rating, announcing a price target of 136. That did kick off a little bit of selling here for CRCL, guys. Monster yesterday, but back downside here so far.
Yeah, absolute monster. Jay Tom just said in the chat, I wish I had seen Circle yesterday. We just said Coinbase had a really good day, but Circle even better. And what's pretty good about this is this has made a temporary bottom. You can't really argue with this. Like, it was trending down for so long, and I get it hasn't been around that long, but it was trending down for like 3 months in a row, and now you put in a higher low. You literally broke out that recent resistance yesterday. This actually looks pretty strong. The only thing that doesn't look good, yeah, you see what I see. Like, if you lose here, like 146.5, good luck finding a level for a dip buy. But that also means that you could maybe liquidity grab underneath afternoon support. Like, the first place that it sold on a 15-minute chart was buying into 146.5. So, if it holds that at the open, maybe you get a nice little continuation play. But that's a little bit tricky. I feel like it's going to try to rinse that level right away at the open if we're still here in about 30 minutes or so. And then, then you start backfilling that gap, which doesn't look as good. But this should be on watch, everybody. I'd rather look at crypto through the lens of ETH and Bitcoin, either or. I just feel like this is an easier continuation play. Like, I know the levels I want it to hold. You get into that 33.5, maintain the upward trend. You're back above 120 on Bitcoin. You're well above, you're back up, you're almost at 4,500 on ETH, 44.84. So you pull back into 4,400 at a test of $33.50 is where I'm looking in the crypto space today. But Circle looks fantastic on the daily chart. Just don't like the level it's sitting at right now in Circle.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. Not worried, but this is just another one of those things where you get up to the highs again. This is Bitcoin, IBIT. Where you get up to the highs again, and then looking for reasons to sell it. I don't think you're going to get a reason this time. It's too bad it's Friday, whereby you're not going to be able to trade IBIT over the weekend. I don't think anybody's going to want to be short. I mean, if there is more negative talk. So the only thing is the government, I mean, can they even talk over the weekend? Like, I mean, if it winds up reopening, then I think Bitcoin does retrace quite decently. And I don't mean huge. I just think it comes back into like this 50 period or something. So I just think it's risky to think about this over the weekend unless you are really positive that we do get a continuation on the shutdown. And we checked the call sheet market was up to 14 days there yesterday, and now it looks like it's still, so now it's 15 days. So the thing is, we're now in day 3, right? So still got at least another 10 days according to the predicting markets, right? So there it is right now. See, now it's weighing the other way. So the no is now getting closer to the 15 days. That was 10 days before. But I think Bitcoin continues to work if there is a shutdown. We saw gold also. I think gold pulled back a little bit yesterday, if I'm maybe not correct. So 2 days of a little bit of a pullback, but still sticking up there pretty high. There's gold yesterday, so that's so we were right about that one. This is what I could see happening, kind of like with Bitcoin, and then just almost coming right back. So I'm a little nervous about these two ideas, but I do think that IBIT today is a long if we can get any dip buys. And I'm not sure I want to buy it right here. The market's heading to the south side a bit, so I don't want to be all in on crypto, especially if it starts that way. Like we saw some dramatic moves yesterday. What about, this is a 200 period moving average on a 5-minute chart. We really haven't, like we saw it here on a move down, bounced off of it. Right, it was the short when it was there. I don't know, we're still above it, so I'd like to see us come back in and at least look at some sort of support. So that would be 68 probably by the time we open up. This line will correct back up to 68, 67, 80, something like that. So I think IBIT's going to be a long down there, especially with it being down already 0.5%. If the momentum continues, I just don't think it goes down for very long. As long as the shutdown is there, that people are looking to put their money somewhere, crypto's been the space over the last couple of days. I mean, we were just at 108 last weekend, so now you're at 120. So the welcome to 10% in a week on Bitcoin. And I think it still goes stronger, right? So it's a big move for Bitcoin, really 10% in a week, but you're seeing stocks like that USAR is already up 11%. Yeah. And I feel really bad about this USAR because it's a name that I should already be in. It's stupid. Like we talked about this. I talked to Brian Shannon, Steve Tileman 2 weeks ago or last Friday when we were still down here. And I remember I was like, wow, this stock is, and I don't know if you guys were watching or listening to what I was saying. I was like, it's too much of I was literally calling this thing like a roller coaster. I was like, okay, the next move, we're right here. The next move is down there. And then we can buy it. And then that. Then all of a sudden, now you're getting all these stories, potentially U.S. looking to take a stake and blah, blah, blah. And we know all the story today, and then there it goes. The USAR, like, just follow the yellow brick road. Like, MP gave it to us, LAC gave it to us, and now USAR is giving it to us. So it's just like, it's like the quantum space is kind of the same thing. All three of those names kind of move together. So now it looks like we get it in the rare earth metal spot as well. So, yeah, it's been quite a run in those names, and I'm not long, and I should be. So we knew about that name for a while.
Not stopping. Nothing can stop them, but never stop, Be Free. In the chat here, celebrating 5 years with the show, so I love it. The 555 super chat, we appreciate you. AKA Half Man, Half Spirit. Show has come so far and still growing. Absolutely, still doing some work. You might have heard some saws going or something was going in front of us, but yeah, we're just trying to get bigger and better. Thanks for the knowledge. Thank you for participating. And then we got another one. Pavel. Thank you for the super chat. Good morning. Thank you for all you do. Have been watching for over 3 years now and find the insights you all provide invaluable. Sean's honesty, Neil's steadfast discipline. I got to breathe better. Are both qualities I strive towards. Let's hit the like for that one. Ooh, champagne.
What Pavel said.
I like that.
Oh, Pavel.
Pavel, thank you so much. Appreciate the super chats, and we appreciate all of you. I was just typing in the chat, actually, because there's another, I mean, you're just talking about quantum running, and then you have the rare earth metals running. Well, Unusual Machines is going as well. RCAT ordered, had an $800,000 order. This is the reason UMAC is up 10%. $800,000 order from Red Cat is causing this to go up 10%. So momentum is momentum. But sometimes when you hear an order for like $800,000, Like that's like the major league minimum for a player. Obviously not that big of an order, but at the end of the day, for some of these small cappers, that's all it takes for this stock to be up 10%. It always boggles the mind. Like I had a double take to see. I'm like 800,000.
You're like, what the?
I'm like $800,000. That's nothing. Anyway, so UMAC up on that RCAT order.
All right, let's get into everything else we need to know here. If you're just joining, quick recap, I guess, of absolutely nothing that we've talked about so far this morning. If you missed it, no data at 8:30 because of the government shutdown. We will not get data specifically from any government agency until this is resolved, including, remember, CPI is coming up next week, so we could skip an inflation reading as well. That being said, 9:45 and 10 o'clock, ISM data coming from both S&P and ISM. So there are going to be a couple of key prints this morning that could be market moving. All right, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a second, jump down to the description of this video below. Top link there will get you to the sign up page for the watch list. Absolutely free every day, comes right to your inbox, has everything on it that you need to know in the pre-market. A few people asking about the members side of things as well. Sharif off today, we'll resume that on Monday, guys, so heads up on that. Apple, top of the list here. If you missed it, we just went over it. We'll dive in a little bit again here this morning. Move down in the pre-market here on a Jeffries downgrade. A few people talking about this story as well. They did remove some of these ICE tracking apps that were allowing users to essentially broadcast or pinpoint where ICE enforcement officers were throughout the country. So they have been taken off the App Store.
Yeah, that's not a super surprising move at all. I'll talk a little bit here about the downgrade, though, guys, because it is a pretty interesting note. So Jeffries cutting its rating for Apple from hold to underperform. So actually a rare underperform rating for this Mag 7 name. Basically, they said that they're a little bit concerned here about these high expectations for the iPhone 18. They believe they're solely based on how strong the demand was for the 17, and they're not sure that this expectation for the 18 is actually going to be something that's holding up. They said that initially, too, the iPhone 17 demand started out pretty tepid or lukewarm, so that could also be a bit of an issue here for the 18. They said the price or I guess the excitement here too might have more to do with this price cut and the lack of the price hike for the Pro and the Pro Max than anything else. So not super enthused here about the iPhone 18 and their price target cutting from $205.82 to $205.16. So they only marginally cut the target. This seems to be more about the iPhone demand here, Brenda.
Or more about them wanting to just buy more lower.
Or that too.
Continue to all-time highs. 251 maybe, guys. We're back into essentially the middle of the range here if you zoom out a little bit on Apple.
The old hit the highs and pull back story, right? Like,
Yep.
I mean, the downgrade, the timing of the downgrade always seems like it happens when you're at a resistance level, but it is what it is. So maybe you see that 251 today, and if it was trading in the high 250s, like this would actually be one that I would put on the, hey, sell it off the top. But because you're a little bit closer to that support, anywhere between 53 and 51, because there was more buy support at 53 than there was at, like 51 is a low, right? Like that's a low, but there was more buy support at 53 than anything else. Like you had 3 or 4 days in a row of buyers in that range. So I think you got to test that first. If you lose that, I feel like it has to be a red day in the market. If we end up with we end up holding green today, which it looks like we have a decent chance, the market's starting to bounce, then maybe you're looking for this one to give you an entry. It didn't make my list because it's kind of a bearish stock in terms of a setup and it wasn't near the resistance levels, but you can do worse than looking for a buy-off support here in Apple. Again, the downgrade timing, it always seems to be right when it's at the top. I think a pullback off the highs would be healthy. And if anything, it still hasn't even really pulled back off the highs. Like to me, it's consolidating at the highs, unless it loses 251. And a consolidation, when you're in an uptrend, is a fantastic thing because it just means you're gearing up for the next leg, right? So as long as 51 holds, trade the range, wait for the breakout, and then we'll have that breakout, I guess, not this week, maybe next.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we want to go long. I mean, it's down 1.2%, right? I mean, and it was just that same sort of talk that we just had. It's falling off of its all-time high, and I think that that's right. I mean, I don't think the Nasdaq is going to be huge today, so there's going to be a name that traders are going to look to trade to the short side, and I guess it's Apple. Jeffries, again, downgraded it. They said the iPhone 18 Fold. Like, come on, man. They just released a 17. Like, now we're talking about like lack of demand for the 18 fold. I sometimes I feel like some of these brokerages are just trying to get long the stock and just want a better price. Like, come on, Apple's not even really talking about this, and if that's what they're gonna go on, then I'm a hard pass on that downgrade. But again, you know, they put their price target at 205. That's wrong. That Apple's not going to 205. I mean, that's not I don't even understand that price target, to be honest with you. I mean, if you're looking at it technically, then back into here, fine. But like, I don't see what Apple's going to do that's going to create that kind of a miss, unless again we get the call from China that this is a no-go, or there's something about tariffs that are hitting iPhones, or you know, this iPhone 17, the lineups are still good. The demand is still great on that phone. Their AirPods, I think, are selling out. They switched yesterday from the Vision to the glasses. I think that's a good move as well. Like that, how come yesterday that news spiked the stock? You know, something that actually matters. It brings the stock up, like a change in business, a new product cycle, and all this kind of stuff. And all of a sudden today, some guy comes out and just downgrades the stock, puts an unrealistic, in my opinion, price target on it, and says that, hey, sure, this phone is crushing, but maybe the next one won't. So I don't know. To me, I just think it's going to be a buy the dip situation at some point. I'm not excited about it today. It's not on the sticky note because I think it's too far down. If it was still up and around here, 256, 257, then we could maybe use this 258 as a short. But I'm not going to call any of these levels right in here a short right now. I think it's just there's not enough here, and I don't obviously don't believe in the call. So I don't know if you could tell that by the way I was talking, but that's Apple, and not too much interest for me. A lot of interest today in Tesla. We had that huge move yesterday. We were trading that yesterday. We made a couple trades on it. We weren't successful on them, but we're going to battle back today and see if that 440 holds. So we got some ideas for Tesla.
Huge down move past couple of days here for DraftKings. If you missed it yesterday, Bear Cave with a negative note on DraftKings. I just threw it up on the screen there. Spruce Point this morning coming out, jumping on the bandwagon to the downside here, saying that they see another 35 to 60% downside move here, targeting $14 to $22 for DraftKings. This thing got absolutely crushed for the past couple of days. So heads up on, hasn't done much on that yet, but heads up on DraftKings if anyone's watching that. Let's talk Tesla. Do we get some follow through here this morning, coming off what happened yesterday on these deliveries numbers? Initial move was to the upside. Actually looked really good when the numbers came out initially, right up to 480. And then it was just, there was no bid all day long.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, and I'll get to the numbers first, and then I'll explain, I think, some of the psychology behind this, but Q3 deliveries well above expectations, Brendan. We were expecting something in the ballpark of 440,000. This is just the delivery specifically for their non-Model 3 and Model Y vehicles, which also took a nice push up this quarter. But yeah, their overall deliveries, 497,000 versus roughly 440,000 expected. That is nearly 60,000 vehicles more than we were expecting. Production pretty solid too, 447,450. Now, why were these numbers not necessarily super well received after that initial pop? Well, it could be because a lot of people are wondering if the reason for this notable spike, especially considering Tesla's recent deliveries trend, could be because of that EV tax credit expiring. People are trying to get their Teslas before the EV tax credit expires. That credit expired as of Wednesday, and now we're gonna have to, I guess, see if it can hold the momentum without this tax credit. The other thing that could have contributed to this drop as well is the stock really, to some extent, was maybe pricing in better than expected deliveries and rallied pretty aggressively even before that pop on the number.
Yeah, a little bit of profit taking maybe. The best quarter ever as well for the energy storage numbers as well ever, which was good to see. This was this morning as well. If you missed it, not a huge deal, but you can now get a Cybertruck in Qatar, UAE, and Saudi, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the other side of that coin is, I mean, the stock just went 350 and was at 470 in the matter of like a month, right? So I think that sometimes plays into it as well. Like, it's an absolute rocket ship into some obvious resistance. Like that 480 level, you go by like the highest closes, like that 480 was a pretty big resistance level on Tesla. But, you know, now today we're looking at something different. Like, you're looking for support. Well, I mean, I was about to say support turning into resistance, but I mean, support still staying support at 435. Like, if you look at the upward sort of trend, it still holds. Technically, you're going to hold those higher lows unless we lose $435 today. The upper bound where I would think it could at least be a short is going to be up in here above the 450 level. But the first look, because we're at a support level on a Friday, is going to be to try to play off that support at 435. And just one note, because you use that DraftKings story. Man, if DraftKings got underneath $20, you better believe it's a buy underneath that price. And price target 20. Yeah. The price target they put on there.
These like, jokers with the price targets make.
But I think it was like 14 to 20. I'm like, that's a wide range of price target.
These guys are too.
Usually you have like some kind of mathematical formula that you do, which at least comes up with the number. When you come up with a range that big, I kind of question what you're doing, but.
I mean, if you look at the price targets of so many of these stocks that are out there, like people probably still have 150s on Nvidia and stuff like that. Like,
oh, I'm sure there's
people are nuts.
Probably a few.
All right, so I have Tesla written down. It's going to be on the sticky note here today. I'm just putting out the last bit of it. Yeah, I'm going to try to go short first and then see if that works, because it was a pretty negative, obviously, day there yesterday. The problem is it's up right now, so we're definitely letting this thing settle down off the open, because yesterday's open was a rocket ship, right? This is the delivery number, but you know, it was a rocket, and then it was looking like it wanted to get going, right? And then obviously it bounces off that 480 and then just sells off very dramatically there. And then we found a little bit of a bottom, which is where we finally got involved about 9:45, and we were able to get this 455 or so, this bounce back up to the upside there. And then it just kept on fading basically the rest of the day, and it watched this 200 period moving average pretty good. Now we're underneath, we're above it, so the 200 period is now underneath. So 440 could be a good support. So that's why I want to wait to see what exactly is happening. I'd like to see it maybe head to the downside, then try to sneak back up, and then we'll look at 455. So this is 455 basically right into here, kind of into this sort of top where we made a move there, tried to come back in and take it there, did not. So then there's the fade, and if you're going to look at it weekly, unfortunately I have this stupid candle here. But this is 445. You know, the line extends through, which is actually pretty unique to the 5-minute chart. That's actually strange. I didn't realize it was doing that. But there it is right there. So this 445 has been a top, you know, a little bit of a top there this week. This goes back into last week. And then again, right into here before we broke out. So I'm looking to see if we're going to go short. That 445 area could be something there. And it's so dramatic because it was just at 480, right? So it's like now we're down 10% just from yesterday, basically. That top of 480 back down to 440, that's 10%. So you gotta be careful. It's gonna be a little bit less than that, but you know, you gotta watch out. The trend is definitely to the downside, and I think Tesla shareholders will continue to possibly take profits today on this huge run. So yeah, you could also, I know Neil's talking about 440, 435, but yeah, if it loses it, then maybe we do come back in and test this 425. Not everything is possible on Tesla, especially if this market cranks. I think the traders will go over to a name that they killed yesterday and continue with the short. So we'll wait for Tesla 445, but I'm not taking it. I'm going to wait to see if there's some actionable trading around that level. We saw this news yesterday.
Rumble,
with
young
Perplexity
man,
on the after hours show. So Rumble still moving up. Canadian name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big mover after the close yesterday. We're continuing. I mean, right now, we did come in a little bit here early on in the pre-market. If you missed it, Rumble teaming up with Perplexity on AI-powered tools. Wasn't much detail on what those tools would be, but cool partnership for, as Sean was just saying, just down the street here from us. Yeah,
and originally, as you kind of indicated, we can't really say much more than that because there really isn't much more to say. The one thing we do know, apparently there will be several initiatives. These initiatives include a collaboration to drive improved video discovery on Rumble by leveraging Perplexity's AI tools. So really it just sounds like AI plus Rumble equals good is really I think the sum of the details. Rumble did, I guess, comment a bit on the partnership. They said that they think this integration with Perplexity is going to help address one of the challenges in this space and allow to help users discover relevant content in a media landscape that is super saturated. One thing with Rumble to remember as well, Tether has invested in them, so they have that connection as well.
Big level below us here, or was yesterday at least, $7 down here. If you zoom out to the daily chart, we're all the way up to 8:30 this morning, guys. But if you're going to announce something like this, pretty good time to do so at the end of the day yesterday.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, as you said, I think the story right here, at least for the stock, might be a little bit sexier off the $7 level and playing it for a swing than what I'm seeing for the day trade necessarily today. Because we've talked about accumulation, and stocks that have done this type of accumulation have looked really good. Like the accumulate, break trend, and then you get a nice rally. Like why wouldn't it at least test $10 to $11? But as far as today goes, well, okay, so there's your candle in the aftermarket. Your pullback is right back into where the support is off 8, but it's not doing anything with it. So there might be, like, I'm just going to prefer Rigetti and, you know, UCAR as well, and looking at ETH, I suppose, over this, unless it shows you something. It's above VWAP, which is good. It's holding $8, which is good. But since I pulled it up, there hasn't even been a print on the tape. So yeah, it's a weird one, because it's like, okay, well, Rumble up 12%. You got a good story here. You have a good level on the daily chart. It looks like it should be something that goes, and yet there's not a lot of activity here in the pre-market for it. So I kind of lean on that as where I will not participate. Open to change off the, look, anything can happen off the open. So I don't want to completely write it off, because it ticks a lot of boxes for a continuation long play. But this might be better as like a swing off this and then giving it to the support off 7 and then just let it work its way into $11 over the next week or so, as opposed to trying to get the day trade here.
All right, yeah, I mean, same kind of thinking about Rumble and Perplexity. I mean, I think it's a good deal for them. I'm still looking, I still have Tesla, but yeah, it's a good deal. I would actually fade this pop, I think. I don't think there's enough in it to tell us exactly why Rumble needs to even exist, really. But you get the big bump. I don't know, like that was just, I'm not even gonna use $10 as an area, because that didn't really happen. It was just a quick algo spike there. It's just great base, and it deserves the pop, right? So I would still use this daily 200 to fade. That's $9 if we can get into there, and you're just into, again, like, if you draw that same kind of a line here again, like that's as, I mean, look, it's gonna be rough, right? Between $8.50 and $9, but there's some tops, you know, we were there, we were there, we were there. So I would say this is a short, and I feel like it's already sort of starting to figure that out with this move back in. Like once it gets to this level, I think the fade will happen one more time. So for me, between 850 to 9-ish, a short. So we're almost there. Worth trying. I'm not here. I can try with 100 shares to see if we.
I doubt.
Yeah, we have shortables. So yeah, so it's not hard to borrow or anything like that. So yeah, Rumble. If it's not going to be hard to borrow, did you look at the short?
I didn't.
Okay, so let me just check out what the short interest is on this. I think it's about 11 or 12%. I'm not sure if we checked yesterday or not. So yeah, 17% short. So, you know, there is a little bit of a short float on this name, which could spike it. But I still feel pretty strongly that we're not going to break through 9. So that would be my out. If we come up to 9 and it breaks it, I mean, sure, that wick is up to 9.10. You could give yourself 10 cents, but don't get caught in something like this, because there's going to be a little bit of a sort of a liquidity vacuum up here, right? Like it could just whoosh all the way to the upside again, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, now I have to test 10, but meanwhile your out should have been 9. So just be careful. I think between 9 to 9.10 would be your out, and I think between 880, 875, like in this area, is a short. I just don't see enough volume here, and I don't see anything happening with it. So, the shorts might get squeezed a little bit off the open, and then I think they just come back with no fear, because it's not hard to borrow. They can short this thing all the way up. I don't think there's enough in the report that tells me I want to own Rumble. So I'll go short on Rumble today if it gets into that area.
All right, we'll get to quantum here coming up. Just want to mention this real quick. Coinbase, huge gap to the upside. Not huge, but decent gap to the upside here this morning. There's this, Rothschild's with an upgrade today, going to $417 on Coinbase. I was also just reading Coinbase partnering with Samsung to offer users access to their crypto wallets through Samsung Wallet, if you have a Samsung smartphone, I guess. So Coinbase one to watch here, maybe coming up this morning as well. We mentioned it early on, but let's go on to some of these quantum names. I mean, Rigetti, huge gap, going from $30. I mean, $7 gap here for Rigetti on seemingly not much.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything individually on Rigetti beyond just, I think, the overall excitement for these quantum names. I do want to mention as well, QUBT was the only one that I saw with a catalyst, and even then it's pretty thin. They got a price target increase from $22 to $40, so almost double from Ascendient Capital. I couldn't even see an analyst note on it. So I will say in general, and that's why I have this infographic up, these quantum names, especially like later into their run, if you start like, February 2025 all the way to July 2025, this is their monthly performance. They tend to all kind of perform together. So they'll all go up together or slightly down together. That's at least what I found anyway. So I think it could just be a sector-wide move, because they do tend to move pretty well in tandem.
Yeah, huge moves. If you go out to daily charts as well, that's Rigetti. I mean, if you go back to September, beginning of September even, we were at 15, 16, 17 bucks, and now almost $20 higher here. To start the day, guys, what are we doing here for RGTI today?
Yeah, Rigetti's the one I'm going to watch as well. And I know that the entire space is making a bit of a move. The bad news is that we just lost the volume weighted average price. The good news, though, is there can still be the old pullback into like the prior tops. So, I mean, instead of looking at the wick highs in like 36, I'm eyeballing that till 35.5. So for under VWAP, look for a dip at any point in the day. I mean, if it doesn't happen at the open and we're underneath VWAP, then at some point, like a challenge into the prior high for a bit of a continuation rally here on Rigetti. That's my first look. If we never break the low, then I want to join at VWAP and hopefully not miss it. Like if you just go, you know what, bat-ish crazy, pull back into VWAP is going to be the play. Otherwise, it's a pullback in a prior high. Specifically on Rigetti, I know you can look at QUBT or D-Wave. I like Rigetti for the volume that it consistently has, and the setup looks pretty good as well.
Yeah, so we saw this name yesterday, and it just continues to work, right? I mean, and I was saying yesterday, if you don't understand the quantum, then just don't trade it, because they're not making any money. It is 3 to 5 years away from everything that I'm hearing, and I'm not an expert in this stuff. But all of these names were $1 last year at this time. So you want to talk about making money, and like literally like millionaires, I would assume, again, made on these quantum plays. Like these were $1 last year at this time. Now you're $37. Like if you just put in $1,000 into this thing, you're laughing right now. It's done. So I think there's still more room to go. I don't see any reason for these names to stop. You're up another 5% today. So whenever we talk about this, whenever there's a gap, you play to VWAP. Well, right now VWAP is already up here, so we can't really worry about that. So I would just say, what about yesterday's closing price? And it sucks to say 35.50. I mean, the market looks like it's trying to bump up now. I actually was thinking short on this market today a little bit, but it looks like Rigetti just keeps on going. So I would, get long. I just try to find out a space where to do that. And right down here, 36 to 35.50 to me, looking like an area. So that to me is an area. And then honestly, this is all-time highs, right? I assume. Yeah, we just looked at the daily chart. So this break of 38, I might just take that, honestly. Like why are we not even, like yesterday's all-time high, I'm going to assume was this break yesterday as well. So I don't, it's like you break here. Let me see the daily chart. Yeah, so right there. So what was that? 34.50. So yesterday, where was 34.50? I know, Neil, I could do the thing, but I just want to see here. So there's 34.50 up to 35.50. So yeah, okay. So I think there's going to be some sort of a juice there in that trade.
You don't get that many chances for it to actually be the price.
I know, there's the Russell Peters.
34.50.
Yeah, where he talks about the Chinese convenience store or whatever there, when he's talking about prices. All right, I haven't seen Russell Peters in a minute. I know he's still doing stuff. But
I'm sure he is.
Shout out to Brampton for sure. Great, if you don't know, he's a great comedian out of here.
We got a lot of good comedians in Canada.
Canada had probably, I mean, you could just keep going and going and going.
He's per capita probably the best. We got to be way up there.
I don't think it's really that
probably
close,
not even that close.
To be honest with you, if you're using that as the per capita thing.
No, we're crushing.
I mean, everyone's U.S. on this chat, so they're going to start putting random names in here. Dave Chappelle.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I mean. Oh, there's Canadians, fine.
I might tell you
but obviously, there's tons of great comics these days.
Go big.
My favorite, Sebastian Maniscalco.
Maniscalco is hilarious.
Yeah, I've seen him live, and I want to see him again and again and again. All right, what's up to Bitcoin?
A couple minutes ago here, we'll run through this pretty quick. Bitcoin back to highs, essentially, or thereabouts. We get back through, this is IBT, or IBIT, I should say, but we get back through 120 on Bitcoin itself. JP Morgan lifting their price. I mean, didn't JP Morgan hate Bitcoin at one point? Now they're lifting their price target to 165.
Yeah, Jamie Dimon's opinion on Bitcoin seems to change based on the weather. I'm not going to lie at this point. No disrespect to him, but his position on this is notably very confusing. But either way, I mean, I will say this JP Morgan price target on Bitcoin, that's the second in a row from an analyst, because yesterday Citigroup hiked its price target on Bitcoin. By the end of this year, they're seeing 132,000. In 12 months, you're seeing 181,000 for Bitcoin. Ethereum is more tepid. They see it basically being flat by the end of the year and then up about 1,000 points, like just above the all-time high by in a 12-month period. So I guess Bitcoin very bullish from even very surprising analysts.
Getting going as we speak here. Some volume coming back in, guys. Under a minute to go until Friday.
Under 1 minute now?
Yeah, under 1 minute to go. Just very quickly, imbalances. QBTS 600,000 buy, Archer 560,000 buy. That's about it. Intel with a small buy of 250,000. That's actually on my mind. But I like ETH today. 33.5 was the dip zone I wanted. Of course, Ethereum above, almost at 45,000. So you could have a pullback off the 45,000 level, looking for a 33.5 dip buy. Otherwise, I might have to look at VWAP as well. So I'm bullish on ETH for some continuation today. And I just quickly, because Intel was on the mind, a couple of days in a row, Intel just keeps on going higher and higher. My dip was about 36.8. And it doesn't look like we're getting too much of a dip buy. I might have to join the trend on Intel. Every single day the stock just goes up. But only about 10 seconds to go. This bell.
I typed in TQQ and there's TQQ Toronto?
TQQ Toronto?
Anyways, yeah,
that's right. Well, this bell brought to you by VinFast, ticker VFS. Scan the QR code for more information on them as we ring the bell for the final time this week.
Yeah, here we go. All right, so watching out for Rigetti here. Trying to pull back a little bit. We're going to watch out for that 38 level coming in. The market is trying to go. One of the trades, we didn't go over the sticky note, but I do have a short on the TQs in and around 107. We're going to try to have our patience hat on today because yesterday we got a little bit excited right off the open. All right, AMD as well. I wrote down 170 break. So what I wrote down here for AMD is we'll try to see if we can fade any pops up to 170, 150, but then watch out if we hold below 170. I like that hold below. We're not below it right now, but if we could take 170 to the downside for AMD, I think that could be something that we look at eventually. So we're going to take some looks at that. That bottom there is 169.77 or so there. So watch out. Here it comes right back in through 170 again. Interesting name here for me, AMD. I want to watch it carefully.
Yeah, and whoops, I don't mean you. Rigetti is moving a move to the downside right away. So it looks like that one's pulling back in right into prior high. So I don't like these falling knife type plays off the open to just sit there, but it is that prior high that I want to look for some kind of a bounce. So this one's going to really have to settle down. Thought we'd see some action on Tesla at the open, but it's been quite the opposite here for Tesla. Oh, now it's starting to go. Yeah. I'm just looking at the tape, guys. I know this chart for some reason just doesn't seem to want to load. So I'm going to give you the black chart because that's actually going to load for us. Tesla now starting to gear up, breaking 445, headed on the way to 450. Like for myself, I think 50 to 53 was the area that I was looking for potential short traders. Tesla looking very, very strong right away off the open. Yeah, Rigetti's still pulling back, so I got to be patient with this one. We wanted to dip by and only go long here, so might have to wait this one out. This one's still testing lower as Rigetti gapped up, but fading a bit here. Yeah, that was at 38. I mean, we were looking at that little bit of a break there, and it did the break and fake. And whenever you get that kind of a play, I think it's interesting to watch to see what winds up happening now with Rigetti. Okay, we have two positions right now. So the first one, well, we can do whatever one we want to talk about right here, but AMD, there's the 170 hold. It's very, okay, well, and there it pops up. I was going to say it's very early. We're not stepping in to very many shares right now. That 170, 150 is really what we're trying to figure out here. So we'll hold on to a small short now on AMD and see what that does because we want to, it was under 170 for a minute. I was going to say if we can hold underneath there, then that's going to be something that we want to watch out for. So it's still early days to determine that one. And then here's the position. Again, this is on right now on my note. And I just have the two trades that I thought we would take early there. 107 short on the TQs. We're a little early on it. We're short at 106.675, so it's 10 cents right now. Then the AMD 170 short right there. But the 171 is sort of the level. The Tesla 445 short and the IBIT long. So IBIT long is not coming in right now, but it looks like the TQs are going down and the Neil is just on Tesla. So 445, like I said, it's just an area for us to look at. If we want to go short, this is probably the spot right now. And there it goes. Now you're in the money $1 if you're in that short on Tesla, but I'm not. So
We marked it down, but we're not in it, so woe is me. All right, but we do have a nice trade here developing on the futures. So there it is, man. It's 20 cents. It's a nice take right there. We want to get a little bit heavier on this, so hopefully it will come back upside a little bit. But wow, what a miss there on Tesla. It's just a $2 winner, everybody, as we were talking about it. But yeah, didn't have it. Still very, very early. Let's see what this market winds up doing.
Yeah, and we just have Mirren talking, Fed's Mirren. So we'll see. And they're saying you're just talking about the same things. Like, hopefully we'll have more data by the next FOMC meeting because we didn't have data because of the government shutdown. Intel continues to rally. So even with that market pullback a little bit here, Intel just held VWAP. So we might not get a dip through any of the lows. Going to have to play this above the breakout price. So 37.75. Going to look for the dip buy here, and Intel up 1.5%. There wasn't a specific story here. It's just continuation over the last couple of days. Super strong name as far as I can tell. I know we were talking about Rumble. Rumble wasn't necessarily on my list as super exciting. No break either way. So volume didn't exactly come in on spades either for Rumble. It's up 11%. I like the story. Just unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it wants to go too far. Also have Rigetti on watch. It doesn't really pull back to 35.5. It's now holding 36 even. So it's still pretty heavy. I think I still wait for it to test down to 36.5 or 35.5 as it's still in very much of a downward trend. But Intel going to get some out in front of 38 even because Intel seems to respect the even dollars.
Yeah, good one there on Intel. Hopefully that can work out. I'm still a little shook. We even did the lines here on Tesla and showed you 445. So it's like everything else is kind of not moving. I mean, whatever. We have AMD right here. It's not doing anything. And, you know, that sucks because we should have Tesla. And then the TQ is still really not doing too much right there. So, but there goes Tesla right there.
What is happening?
Back down to 441.
What's happening to Meta?
Rigetti, what's happening to Meta? Meta's tank? Yeah, I mean, the market, I think, eventually turns upside down here, but we're going to have to just wait for it. So we're still short Nvidia. Sorry, we're still short AMD, and we're still short these PQQs. And if there's any sort of a name that you guys want in, right? Let's just do this right now. Okay, so right now we can keep this up for now. You just got to get into the chat if you're part of our subscribers. Completely free to subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button right there, and you can get into the chat as well. And you just type in your $ like Mark did there, $Lily, and then that will show up in here, and then I'll give Neil and I, and thanks to Fabian for building this, and it gives us an opportunity here to check out what stocks you guys are most interested in. And right now, USAR, there it is, nice move higher. Okay, I'm gonna have to go over here because we are now starting to print a little bit here on the futures, which is nice. Okay, well, it just bounced off 50 again. So I'm guessing that that's a level. Like we just came in, I was like, wow, we just dropped nicely, but there it is into the 200 period again. So I'm gonna put a small bid again at 54, see if we can get that fill. My next bid is in the 40s, and then we go lower from there. So hopefully this will all fill out just a little bit for us. Okay, here it comes, good. So the Rumble trade was around 9. That's not hitting yet. We can wait for that, but here we go. Nice day so far here as the market's trying to fall in for us. We've got a 30-cent winner on the TQs, and now we've got a 30-cent winner on AMD, but still waiting for a little bit more. So let's see if this drop is imminent or not. I'm bidding AMD 169.50.
Yeah, speaking of drops, we'll get to Meta in a quick little second, but Meta really dropping as well, though Adara just mentioned there's nothing specific on Meta. Thank you, Adara. I just threw it in the chat to make sure we didn't miss some kind of a story there. But bounce off the pre-market, first bounce off VWAP on Intel, now bouncing off the market. I guess we'll go with the pre-market support. I'm just talking about since 6 o'clock, so if it was a bit different price at like 4 a.m. or something, we'll see if this can bust above the volume-weighted average price. But a couple of dips into what has been a red start overall here for the overall market. Meta, it's pretty heavy. And as I said, it just went red. The first couple of candles, you just had $10 to the downside. So not really sure what's going on specifically with Meta. Could just be continuation of the weakness that it's had off of some of those highs, but not looking very good for them. Rigetti, I think this is I'm gonna have to I'll stick the fail on Rigetti because it held 36 pretty cleanly to have not taken a shot at that instead of waiting for 35.5. And now you're busting out VWAP. So I don't want to be a complete chaser, but I might have to pick up a higher low somewhere as we might not get that low of the day again. Adara?
Yeah, I mean, keep an eye here on the market, guys. We do have Fed's Myron still speaking. He's saying that the neutral rate has come down to the bottom end of the estimates, that he doesn't think that rate is necessarily zero. And he also said that he is expecting significant services disinflation via housing. So we do have some PMI data coming out in a couple minutes as well. Just to remind you guys, in 7 minutes, we get S&P services and composite PMI. The more closely watched number, ISM services PMI at 10 a.m. I'll be covering all that data for you guys. Stay tuned. Back to you.
Apple that's going. I just turned to Sean and go, how is the market going up when Meta's getting its butt kicked and Nvidia wasn't doing much? And
we called Apple. I mean,
Apple.
You weren't here, but I said that this Apple was a complete bullshit call. You know, and I mean, there it goes. Like, I was literally sitting here and saying this poor guy downgrading Apple for no reason, talking about a phone that is a year away that no one's even talking about. Completely ignoring the love for Apple, and there it goes. So just rewind this, and you can see all the talk that I had about Apple. And I was just saying, I didn't, you know, was it going to be a short today? I thought so, if the market was going to go down, but you just came right back into those all-time highs, close enough anyways, back into those areas. We did have, we are hearing some news about Teladoc, but DraftKings did have a short report on it.
You got to hear what they said
today. And nothing's happening to that one. We had Palantir with some negative talk as well. We did get some more. Okay, here we go. Now we're starting to go to the downside right now. Let's hit some bangs now. There goes AMD, man. We supported this short. We're still in it. Let's go see it. Yeah, hamster one. I mean, I called Jeffries on that anyways. So whatever. That's just my opinion. He has his, and or she have whatever, and they have theirs. But the TQs looks like it's trying to get back to the upside. So we could be wrong on this future short, and we're not going to, go fight this one too hard. If it breaks above that 107, we still have yesterday's highs of that 107.20 or so. Oh no, what is that? Yeah, no, 107. Yeah, I'm fine with this. 107s basically. If we break too much above this, we're gonna get out. I don't really care about all this up here. Yeah, right around here, 107 and change. So that's the only one that's in trouble right now. We just sit on these two trades, trying to let them work. You know, if I don't let it work, then I'm not doing my job. So I'm going to wait to see if it can do that, because I don't want to get out too early. Let these trades try to do something. Could be a slow Friday. I don't want to discount that as well.
Inside day is what it might
exactly,
be.
Yeah.
And if it's an inside day, then just try to play the ranges. So for now, Intel's back above the. Oh, this VWAP's going to be bunk because of this print here. So I'm going to. It doesn't really matter, but you can sort of see there's a bit of a pivot here at 37.75. So got the reload off the pre-market lows. We're headed back to the highs. If we end up with an inside day and we reject 38 again, then I jump out, look for the next dip buy, whether it's VWAP or whether it's stat low. We'll play that one by ear. ETHA, ETH, again, not much off the open. We've seen this story before where it's kind of quiet off the open, and then the bigger move happens a little bit later. But it is holding the volume weighted average price. You're right around 45,000 on Ethereum, so I would suspect you could have some rejection of specifically the 45,000 level that could be going on here.
Oh, God.
But I'm going to get out. We get near that high of the day. I want to make sure I get that profit off the top here on Intel. It's getting close to that 38 and keeps on rejecting.
Okay, we now have 3 times daily goal. We need to up our daily goal right now because right now we've got some nice moves happening, Mr. Roberts. There it goes, man. Nice moves right now. We just averaged right back into our TQQs again. So there it goes to the downside, man. 50 cents on this one. And it's your dollar club right there for AMD. Look, we were patient as you know what with this one, man. So we are going to be happy. We are going to celebrate our winners. And there it goes, man. Nice move to the downside right there. And we are still in a lot of this TQQ position, to be honest with you. Let me put another bid here at 37, see if we can grab that. Oh, it just bounced off, but we got it anyways. So nice move to the downside. Now let's see if we continue to crack lower here. I lost my chart, so I have to log in and back out to get that in again, or I have to develop it all again. But there it goes, man. The only trade, honestly, we wrote down Tesla right on here, 445. We missed that trade. And unfortunately, everything else, though, man, is just a print damn factory right now. Make sure you check it out. I mean, look, yesterday we were red. We talked about it. Today we're green. We're talking about it. It's called honesty. Look at this. TQQ, AMD, Tesla, IBIT. There's the TQQ short 107. There's our AMD short at 170, now $1 in the money. And there's our Tesla short 445, now $7 in the money. So far, so good there. Shouldn't have been gun shy on Tesla, but unfortunately, that is what what we were, and we should have taken it. So, we'll pat ourselves on the back for the call, but we don't have the actual trade there. This is a big one, though. The TQs is a big one. Let's just see how far this one can get. If the market cracks, we're not even red yet. So if this market cracks down, we should be able to have a good one. I'm going to log out and back in. So I'll throw it over to Neil, and I'm just going to, because normally if a chart closes, you can just open it back up.
Yeah, it opens up.
The thing is, mine are customized as well. So if I just want to, I'm going to close it and open it quickly. I've had that issue. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Just very quickly, for the market going red, the ES is leading the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq very, very close to going red, but you do have the ES, which is still above the volume weighted average price. So there is a little bit of a disparity between, I guess, what's going on in tech. Yeah, I think we were probably right to get a little bit aggressive. I tried getting that 38 for the last fill on Intel, like the original hold good. Now you're starting to break down. I'm moving my stop to break even on this. Just feel like you've now put in some lower highs. So this is the one I wanted for the dip. We got the dip buy, but I don't want to get too stubborn about it. Sometimes you just have to bag the profit and move on to the next if it's not going to break higher. On the other hand, Rigetti just put in another higher low. So yeah, the market's looking weak, but at least this quantum name in particular is still putting in those higher lows. That 35.5 we might have to wait for and never get. But if we now close 1, 2, you close above VWAP, then you have an uptrend that we can respect for sure. And I do want to remind everybody, if you are in the chat, oh no, is it working? Thank goodness. If you are in the chat, make sure you type $ when you enter a symbol. So $ and say plug or Tesla or LAC or DocuSign or Webull, whatever it might be, and just let us know what symbols you are going to be interested this morning, because that's how we can best serve you guys. Make sure we're looking at all the names. As I think we're going to a dare, we do have economic numbers coming out.
These numbers coming out right now, that's going to be the S&P Global Composite and Services PMI. Services 54.2 above estimates of 53.9. Composite 53.9 above estimates of 53.6. Both numbers above estimates. Nasdaq not reacting too much to this print. Again, higher than expected S&P Services and Composite PMI. Stay tuned for ISM Services PMI, the more closely watched print that'll be coming through at 10 a.m. and back to you.
All right, thanks, Adara, for that. So right there, well, I mean, the number not huge, 53.9 versus 53.6.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't have it today, man.
No, we don't have it. So it's
come on, Andre.
Yeah, that's posted by Sharif.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sharif is off.
So appreciate. Yeah.
So we do appreciate that, but I just messaged Brendan about that. We should. We're gonna have a process that when Sharif's not here, we all know what he does.
It's the same thing as like when the watch list. We just have a process for the watch list to be able to get it done.
Yeah, we're gonna get that all figured out. We do apologize.
But thanks for asking.
For that. But yeah, of course. Thanks for asking about that. And it means that, I mean, it's a great morning note. That's for sure. So thank you to everybody for appreciating that and asking about it. So, but I just feel like that missed opportunity there on Tesla today. It's probably going to eat at me for a minute. So I apologize. But yeah, that was a good trade there. Let's move off of it. That is the trade. The TQQs right now, they did make that move down. So, definitely back into that 106. So we were able to get out of a little bit down there. We're still holding some of it because we are waiting to see. But we just bounced pretty nicely off VWAP right there, off the market. That's the ES. Obviously, we're trading the Nasdaq, but one wags the other. I mean, basically, if the ES is going to start to go back up to the upside, no surprise here. Jeffries right now is wondering what they have to do to get Apple down. Obviously, I said that like 205. Neil was talking about price targets, like 205. Like these guys are just in another world with that kind of a thing right now. But at the end of the day, China is still a big story for Apple. If it falls down, I could see there'd be a problem. But for right now, man, I do not. What was that about Salesforce? There was something there about Salesforce platform potentially being compromised. Okay, well, Salesforce saying no to that, I guess. Okay, here we go. So the futures now are ripping, right? So there we go. We go from a nice trade to right now back into flat right there. So let's just add back a little bit of what we took off. We're not going to load the boat on this one. We want to make sure that we do still have enough profits that we don't give this all back right there. But we still are waiting for that 107 or so break. So that'll be when we end the trade. I guess if it breaks out through 107, we would wind up being negative on it because we still have shares and we just put some more on. But let's Hopefully I'm not a moron for that, but we'll wait to see if it does come back in. 106.50 is where VWAP is, so I think on that reload, if we can get out a similar amount of shares there at 106.50 that we just put on, I think that would be a good look. So I'm going to put a bid down there and see if it continues maybe lower, and then we'll still have some shares on, but we are watching that 107. Anything could spike at any time, man. You get a story and it spikes off. We still have that 10 o'clock ISM non-manufacturing PMI, so we'll see what that number comes in. Here we go. Nice little move to the downside. Give it to us. If we can get this, man, I'm bidding 54s right now. Hopefully we can get a nice downside play here. 57, 50. We're at 54 anyways, but we'll wait for it. AMD trying to make a move back in as well. Let me take a piece off here at 50s, but for right now, market just dancing. I think we have, let's go to Neil and then we'll go over to Adara.
We have some exciting news for Canadian sophisticated traders, and that is Beta Pro by Globex Canada has just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs, offering 3 times bull and 3x bear exposure to the S&P TSX 60, semiconductors, and U.S. Treasuries. And even better, everybody, they've got a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until end of year, December 31st, 2025. These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure, providing performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying equity indices. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca, 3x daily, and learn more. Quickly, we're going to go to Adara in just a second. Just want to let you know I did get out. We broke out that prior low bottom, so I'm out of Intel. It did bounce, but I'd like to see it either hold VWAP or maybe show this bottoming tail candle. Give me something that'll make me like the reload into Intel. A couple of good dip buys, but with it holding under VWAP and the market heading back up, I want some confirmation that we're still on the bid as we go to Adara.
Yeah, just be aware here, Fed's Myron is still talking, and he's saying that he doesn't really think that there are going to be any negative tariff impacts for the U.S. That'll be for the other countries. So he's dismissing inflation-related impacts here of tariffs. He also said that he's just, in general, not seeing a broad-based inflation increase because of these tariffs. So Fed's Myron, and like some of his peers, saying that inflation from tariffs does not really seem like it's going to be happening. Either way, worth noting here, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara. And Apple continues this rally. It's right back into yesterday's highs. Super strong name here with Apple. If you're watching this one, there's a little bit of a, oh, he's gone now. There was a seller at the $0.50, at least a second ago, there was a seller at the $0.50. Don't really see it anymore. Maybe that was just someone faking it out. But yeah, it looks like they might be gone. I just saw someone flash some decent size at the 258.50, which was adjacent to the high of the day. It might be gone now, unfortunately. So I'm going to get off that one for a quick little second there. I do see everyone yelling about Palantir. When I say yelling, I mean typing. Yeah, Palantir dropping heavy, down 2%, and looking like it's another one of these types of days, like a pullback day for Palantir. That's a flat bottom break on PLTR through 183.5. I got to flip over. I'm not thinking short on Intel. I don't want to go to that just yet, but I can't ignore what just happened on Nvidia in particular. Nvidia was completely and utterly range bound yesterday when I was gone, and that 190 high just wicked the exact same high and cannot seem to get going. So I'm bullish on Intel because as long as it can hold that low, but this is a different story. Selling abound here at 190. If you're going to false break and then lower high and then short the rest of the day, today, false break, lower high. Exactly the same patterns it did yesterday here on Nvidia. So, I like to follow patterns. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I think that's, and we just did the same sort of thing there on the TQs when it came back in, and we just took some more VWAP out there, right? So we're going to watch out for this break higher. If it goes higher, then it goes higher. Nothing we can do with that one. LAC, we got some news today with USAR, right? I mean, look what's going on right now. Wow, LAC, man, Lithium America, taking it out. It's taking out its highs. Right now. These are levels that have come into play a couple times on this name again, so watch out for this 850 break. Congratulations on USAR and LAC. Obviously, MP Materials could get looked at as well. USAR, wow, $26, man. Just very, very impressive there. I'm kicking myself for not grabbing this at 17 and 18. We were literally talking about this on the show all last week, and it's just like, maddening, but there it goes, man. MP Metals or Materials, sorry, I always say Metals. Materials is the other name to look out for. right now, and that is also looking to take out some of these highs. So if you're playing this space, just like you're playing Rigetti, just like you're playing QBTS, QUTM, all of these plays, just like Oklo and SMR, when they start moving, IonQ, you know, all these names can move together. Right now, Rigetti's just like trying to get it all figured out right now. It doesn't look like it wants to do much, but they've had a nice run. So maybe a give back in this. We are getting close, man. I mean, here goes the market again. So, whoa. All right, I just lost my, what's going on here? All right, hold on a second. I don't know. My, oh, there it is. My mouse is like failing on me right there. But we are starting to get back up to the upside again right now. I'm kind of like in a comfortable spot with how many shares we have. All right, you got to take this over. I don't,
yeah, all good.
I don't know what the hell is going on here. It's like,
yeah,
I can find my, what do they call it? The arrow, the cursor, and then all of a sudden it disappears. All right, it's back right now. I was just going to say that this 107 or so area, I'm pretty comfortable with the amount of shares that we have here. I don't want to get too carried away. It's only 9:53, but we do have that ISM PMI number coming out at 10, so that could give it just a little jolt if the market likes it. So I just don't want to get run over on that number. I think I'll add to this position after 10 o'clock, and I think I'm being smart with that. So that's something that I'm going to look at there. Yeah, you know what else was okay, here it comes back in. Oh, I'm going to take another bid. Oh shit! See, I'm going to unplug this thing because I don't know.
Get a new battery.
Well, it's like maybe it's. Are these?
Maybe
these don't have batteries.
Never mind.
Anyway,
you have one of the gaming ones.
I can't get over.
I don't like the gaming ones. I'm not the gaming mouse. I'm not a huge fan of those ones for trading. But anyways, just very quickly, two things. One, tried buying the higher low on Rigetti. The instantly wicked out, but then jumped right back in if it gave me the wick bottom. I'm just going to give it to the low of the day here because I see QBTS. Oh, I've just typed Blue Ocean. I see D-Wave. That's holding higher. QUBT as well. This one will eventually go. I don't know why I went over there. That one is also holding higher. So I'm looking for the catch-up trade. But at some point, I might just pivot. I might pivot to one of the stronger ones. But I'm going to stick with Rigetti for now. It's starting to get off the schneid. I got 42. Doesn't matter that it's my favorite number, but it also is. Nvidia, I tried to grab. I'm sitting here where these wicks came in off VWAP. And of course, now that means it doesn't want to pull back in to the volume weighted average price. But the way I see it, you got the market rejecting these tops, the ES right at the high of the day. This is a name after that fail break of 190. I just want to nibble in. So what I'm likely to do is just try to get some in here in the mid 189s, and then wait until it gets closer to VWAP to add to the position. That'll be the other play. And I do see Open Door in the chat, so shout out to everyone that's watching Open Door. This wasn't on the small cap radar. It's like when you're not looking at Open Door is when it wants to go. This $8 support is absolute gold on this stock. Unfortunately, the 880 short's also been gold on this stock. So that 880 level, maybe ring the register if you haven't already. Let me just double check that we have free locates on there. Yeah, we got free locates on this. I might dabble if it gets to the 880 level here on Open Door, but that's a super strong one, in addition to plug power, in addition to that QBTS as well. But I'm trying to get that Nvidia short is the next play for myself here as the market is heading lower and lower. I don't want to wait for this to break down at 188. I want some inventory before we get there. It's still working.
No, I might have to get a new mouse.
Word?
I'm still talking here. I might have to get a new mouse. Rob's checking it out right now. But the TQs are absolutely tanky. Oh, that was it, I think. I just heard it go in my ear.
That's what happens when you're live, baby.
Yeah, so we're live. And this is what happens when you don't have, the right equipment here. But thanks, Rob. I mean, we got great support here, so I want to thank him. Yes.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, you see. Can you click? I don't know.
Here, we'll just come back. Let's just go back to the market.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to restart P Pro 8 because I think that's the problem.
No, the market just tanked into the low of the day here on the Nasdaq, and we are testing absolute bottoms. You had Nvidia just hit the low as well, but if you're looking for longs, they have to be in small cap because LAC, Open Door, like those are the things that are going. But you're getting that bleed. The only bounce is now happening right at the overnight and pre-market lows here. So holding green just barely are the Qs. I'm going to go over to this Open Door. Oh, too late. Remember I said that 880 level? 870. And instantly drops. Instantly drops. That's wild. Yeah. Like it's already just dropped 40 cents in a split second.
I'm I'm still in position, but I have to restart my computer, honestly.
What?
Yeah, it's not, I can't get anything in my bottom left right here, right now. I'm just going to restart this.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, sometimes, look, it's like we said.
I mean, we're still short the TQs. I have some bids there. I'm a little bit nervous. I do have a
stop order
out at 107, but I have to restart my whole computer. It's funny that Ryan Philippe is like, haha, now blaming the equipment for the trades. I'm in 2 monster trades right now, winning trades. So if anything, I'm going to blame not getting out on these.
Well, there was just trades. A huge volume spike to the downside on it.
Yes.
No, someone just whacked the bid here.
We're short. What's AMD's price? Because I'm short 170 right now.
Well, it has to have gone down because Nvidia just broke the low of the day. It just hit the low of the day as well. So you just hit low of the day in AMD. But that was a big volume spike that just broke. I saw Tesla have one to the downside. I saw Nvidia have one to the downside as well. But yeah, the market is definitely heading lower.
The whole market?
Well, the Nasdaq's very low. You're right at support here on Nvidia, so I might just be tracking out of this one. If we bounce off the lows here on the Nasdaq and hold, then I want to scalp this trade out in front of what was the afternoon bottoms here on Nvidia. I just saw Coffee Trader say they missed the MU short. I haven't looked at MU.
Just an update. Restarting the whole computer.
Did it work?
Is working. So I just restarted the whole computer. Now I don't have my charts.
If restarting the whole computer doesn't work to fix a problem,
I know. Well, I know Captain Joe over there is having some issues with his PC.
That's hilarious.
That's because it's stuffy down.
I just had a
for
level
me,
2
it's
crash.
like I'm trying to get this all figured out over here.
That's new.
Joe must not be listening.
I actually instead of my chart, my level 2 just crashed.
See what I'm saying? Like what? These are the Friday.
That's never happened before.
We've got like the Friday jitters here today.
That's crazy.
In this. All right, man. I mean, good. So we came back in. The TQQs still seem to be at a reasonable level. So I'm going to bid out just a little bit more and punch some out right now. My stuff. You can come over to my screen. Everyone can just see it loading if they want to. Here go loading data, loading. Here comes all my stuff is just going to start to fly in right now. Good. Yes, sir. We've got a big trade on.
Did you try logging out and logging back in?
What, the software?
Oh, I'm just being
Yeah, I tried, Neil, trust. Okay, here we go, man. It's a hot dog kind of a day right now. Hey, man, when we're back and we have winners, this is what's going to be happening. Tesla, monster trade as well. For Tesla, we're not in that one, but the ones that we are in right now are printing. And the thing about it is, these are 2 trades that we had listed down on the sticky note for you. We talked about it. Thank you for the appreciation on the honesty talk, right? We talked about that yesterday. We were red yesterday. We come back today and punch this market straight in the face. So, I mean, right now, TQ's down 70 cents. AMD down $1.20 right now. We are just absolutely enjoying it right here today. I had to come in today because Sharif had the day off. I'm missing my daughter's cross country, but she said, don't worry about it, Dad. Go in there and make money. Boom. That's exactly what we're doing right now. It's a monster day, and we want to thank you all that. Yo, what's up to Charlie Kirk? I have to say it because
it's a super chat.
It's a super chat. So there it is right there. All my accounts are doing better. It's a $500 super chat.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, I don't have my stream deck open. It is a $500 super chat right there. Thank you, Charlie, for that, man. That is monstrous. We want to thank you for that. Long streaming my accounts, listening to you guys. Have a happy Friday. Beer on you. Yeah, beer on you. That's I don't know how much Neil drinks, but that is a hell of a lot of beer. And we want to say thank you,
you know,
to that. Yeah, I know. I'm just playing around. That's just a lot of money. I had a beer last night because for the first time in weeks and weeks and weeks, I dropped my kid off at chess, and my assistant coach for the rep girls team lives right beside the event, so he invited me over. He wanted to check out the Tesla, thinking about buying it. All right, there it goes right now. It's another one. Thank you, DJ. We ride the bull, but today it is a bear, so we don't have the market to do anything right now. Look at this trade on the TQQs. This is exactly what we had written down there, so we're pretty happy for this move going back down into the downside. $3 in the money right now. Neil's got Rigetti. I've got this on, and it's been a hell of a ride so far this morning. I still have to reload my
Let's go to it, Darren. I believe we have news at the desk, I think.
Yeah, we had a number that maybe it was why we got a little bit of a move down there. 50.4 for the ISM services. Oh, sorry, that was the services new orders. PMI 50 versus 51.7 expected, still below estimates. ISM services new orders 50.4 versus 54 expected. Again, 50 for ISM services PMI, below estimates. Here's the Nasdaq. As you can see to the downside, let's talk about some individual stories here. Applied Materials really weak on the day. The U.S. Commerce Department has extended their export restrictions, and so the CEO of Applied Materials has basically said they're likely to reduce their Q4 revenue, though analysts aren't too worried. Cantor Fitzgerald said this revenue impact on a percentage basis is going to be pretty small, and they maintain their overweight rating on the stock. Then we had Jeffries downgrading Apple as expected, or as I mentioned earlier, this didn't really impact Apple too much. They lowered their price target by like 60 cents from 205.82 to 205.16. Apple only pushing higher despite Jeffries' concerns about their next iPhone model a year from now. Let's talk here about Oragenics. Thank you very much to our friends at OGEN, because each year 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S. and there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Oragenics is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Oragenics OGEN is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more. Schedule a meeting today. Back to you.
Thank you very much there, Adair. Appreciate it. And again, thank you for the super chat in there. Yeah, we're probably not going to drink that much. Might have a brew at the game tomorrow. We'll see. I feel as if, you know, I enjoy a sporting event without it, but we appreciate that so much. I feel like we should get like lunch or something with it, because the lunches have been hit or miss. Rigetti's trying to pull back into the volume weighted average price. It did just hold 36. Remember, we had that first long off the higher low, didn't play out. I made a bit of a keystroke error, so I'll get this one out of the way. Like, why would you get in and out flat after it made the bottoming tail candle? Simple. I keystroked it and put in too many shares, so I instantly punched out of some. Essentially flat, but like 1 penny hit. But once you put in that bottoming wick candle, we jump right back in when it holds 36, looking for the VWAP retracement here. Nvidia did end up breaking the low with everything else, but now starting to come back. Leave my order in at VWAP for now. We ended up, remember I said if it gets to VWAP, great, I'll short at VWAP, but I'm going to nibble in first. Well, we only got to nibble in and never actually got to the volume weighted average price. Let's see if there's any kind of a pop that can get us back into the 189 to 189 half range, and then we can play that back into the south side. Just keeping an eye on QBTS for everybody. D-Wave up 7%, doing a little bit better than Rigetti. I know the entire quant space is moving. Rigetti, you can make an argument only 3% is actually the weakest. And if it can't hold VWAP, like right now it's the weakest name, and it just rejected the volume weighted average price again. So that tells me, follow rule, scalp out, maybe look for it to show some more strength. This is also holding a downtrend, so breaking VWAP gives me a bit of a trend hold. I'm gonna throw up QBTS as well, because if this trend continues where QBTS or QBT is stronger than Rigetti, as much as that dip by work 36 to 36.5, there might be a better long in one of the other quantum names, and I'm very much open to that if we're able to find it. So shout out to everyone for mentioning some small cap names that we haven't looked at. Lithium Americas, it just goes to show. Buy the dip when the U.S. government likes you and is putting in a stake. Now 21%.
Dude, look at Intel. I mean, these guys bought Intel at $20.
Yeah, I mean, like, no, Intel's great. I mean,
different story.
Intel's not going to be up 20% today. Like, this is just a little bit insane, because I don't know that there was anything that would have predicted this move, but you got to pay attention. The breakout high is at 850 on LAC. So if you're not watching this as a small cap trader, then you don't like small caps. VWAP certainly could be a thing if you're rejecting 850. I know for sure I'm going to throw this one up on a side chart, because I'm throwing ETH out the window, because ETH can't hold VWAP, isn't really pulling back into my support level. So kind of a nothing burger on Ethereum, at least for now. So I'm going to go back to the short on Nvidia, see if we can short the pop. Just waiting for it to get into the volume weighted average price, and willing to go back into the long on Rigetti. But so far, it's only been a scalp trade long. Intel was only a scalp trade long. Same thing with Rigetti. You couldn't really get that much out of it. And see if we can't get this VWAP short on Nvidia as the market looking relatively weak, despite catching a bid here.
Yeah, good coverage there. looking to see if we are maybe basing out a little bit here on the Nasdaq. So I don't want to throw too much away, just waiting to see if it's going to base out. So I'll just take another piece out right there at 85. I'm also bidding right now in the 70s. So if we can low set 71s, I mean, it is what it is, 71. So we'll see if, I just noticed that it was bumping back up and I tried to catch that and missed it. So we're still right back in here if we can get a 70 fill on this one. And then even AMD, we only have 2 trades today. They're both real good. And even as we were talking about this, I was like, we need to wait for those numbers to come out. We need to be patient. And what we had wrote down on our sticky note, and I think we followed it pretty good today, was just the fact that AMD 171.50 short, that didn't come in. So we wanted it to break below 170, which it did, right? And then it was pretty early when we took the first trade. It was in the first 2 minutes. And then use 170 as our short. Whoa. So then it came back to 170 and we kind of re-shorted that again. Now we have VWAP protection and we have the market with us and we've got it all good right now, I think, anyways. Hopefully a little bit lower. I'm still bidding O's for that. So we should be getting that in a minute anyways. There it is, we just got it. So yes, sir, there's $1. We've already hit this. And I'm just celebrating because these are the trades that we have on. I mean, we got to talk about our winners, I would think. All right, Rumble, and yesterday we got hit and we talked all about those, right? So just trying to be consistent with what we're doing right there. Rumble does not get to 9. I'm actually at 875 there. We talked about shorting into that area on that news. And unfortunately, I was like, Rumble's probably going to the downside. I didn't really see the action in the pre-market for this name to get too much higher than where we are. Could still be wrong on that, but that's the sort of the play that I'm waiting for. Okay, man, this market is not even red yet, or is it on the Nasdaq? Yeah, it is. Sorry, the ES wasn't red. Oh boy, Neil, there it goes right now. Yes, sir. The TQs is now at the lows. So wow, what a move right now. We'll see if we can bid some 50s and get a little bit more. Here it is, and get a little bit more out. This is the trade, man. It's the #1 trade today for me on the board, and it's there. The missed opportunity for me, of course, is the #2 trade on the sticky note, which is it's #3 on here is Tesla. If you just rewind it to 9:33, I was like, you know what, we're at 445. It's what it shows on here. We want to give this a little bit of time to see if it's going to work out. Well, it's a $13 winner right there. So if you're just following along today, you know, we have everything that you guys want to trade. We're going to go over the visualizer. But there's a TQQ 107 short. So we've got that one. There's the AMD short 170, that's $1.20 in the money. There's the Tesla short, that's $14 in the money. And we wait to see if IBIT can come into those levels. So we'll go 3 for 3, all trades that were available. It's just Tesla was for sure the missed opportunity. It doesn't look like, I was just checking out IBIT right there. I don't think, and I'm just gonna give it a quick little look there. Yeah, so we're nowhere near those levels on IBIT. I think AMD, you're in Nvidia too. So I don't know, AMD just doesn't want to go with the market right now. So I don't know, like the market's at lows and AMD is sure it's there, but I'm going to get another piece out there at 169.
They're putting in lower highs.
Yeah, I know, but I just thought that the market, I don't know, like the semis are still pretty healthy, it looks like. You know, yesterday we could have had a little bit of a bigger dip
LAC
than we did have.
Broke the high of the day.
Yeah, LAC, a lot of these stuff are absolutely nuts. I know, I should have had that short in Tesla. You're right, Mike Dundee. How come I don't have the short Tesla on my screen ticker? Yeah, I'm not short. I just wrote it down on here, talked about it, and didn't take it. So that's the whole thing. President Trump now giving Hamas Sunday to agree to that deal. So I know. I thought when I looked at the deal, I mean, to me, any deal to solve this makes sense.
Well, I mean, so obviously it would be nice, but
I don't want to get too political about it. But obviously, we hope for peace in every region of the world. So
yeah. I don't think that's going to be market moving. However, unfortunately, and I know it's not always.
War times are like good for the market. You know,
yeah, unfortunately, that's just how it goes. We tend to not move on that kind of stuff. So I'm back into Nvidia, but we have to. I'm not trading LAC yet. I mean, I thought the 850 kind of, it looked like it might have given you a pullback. It was looking like it could have given you a pullback in LAC, and instead, all it's doing is breaking out the high and going absolutely nuts. Me as well, Randy. But this stock now 28% and continue to go higher. Like there is nothing standing in its way at this particular moment. So congratulations. You now got fresh tops and blue sky setup here for LAC, Canada.
Okay.
And the other name that there was investment in, U.S. government investment in, I think we made the right call. There was a couple of dips. There was a VWAP dip by to the high, and then we bought the dip again into the volume weighted average price. But since Intel came out, it just gapped another couple of percentage points down. It's now down 1%. So you got to get out of the way. And you could make the argument, yeah, I could have flipped short when I got out, but went over to Nvidia instead.
Oh, God.
If you get down to 36.5, that's about the spot that I would look for a bit of a bid. And guess what just pumped through VWAP? All right, so now Rigetti's trying to get through the volume weighted average price. So this has held the prior day low, and continuation just needs to hold above VWAP for a trend break. And then this can look, the good thing about this is when you have these squeeze names, the market doesn't always have to be strong for them to go. It helps, but this is a breaking trend potentially on Rigetti. Still gonna wait for either 36 or break of the trend holding the volume weighted average price. You gotta be careful with longs today when the market's like this.
Yeah, I like all that kind of a talk. Yeah, I mean, and we were saying it too, I think heading into the weekend, right, is a very
that's the other thing,
dangerous thing. And then now you get President Trump talking about Hamas and all this kind of stuff.
Which I didn't hear.
No, just what we already talked about there. So we're going to wait to see if that, reacts to the market right now. It doesn't, obviously, as Neil and I just talked about, it doesn't look like it's doing too much. And if anything, it might be going the other way. We did take...
Well, it might affect oil prices.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the long bond, I don't know. But for right now, it's looking okay. So we'll just wait to see, where exactly this market winds up going from here. It's looking like it wants to go a little lower to me. But for right now, we did just start to get going there. So I did put an out there at 80. I'm thinking about this. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to get into the market, I feel like, on a day like today. So I don't want to just jump at, hold something. I want to get out. I want to jump out of the trade if it stops working. So I was going to use the 50 period here because that's been a pretty good telltale sign for a trend. So like yesterday at this time, if you were watching, well, not at this time, I guess, this kind of a move down, we had an aggressive move, obviously, and we didn't really start to get too confused until we started breaking. Now that's 1020 right there, where we first started kind of messing around with the 50 period moving average, and then that got pretty choppy, only for us to get back into the downside. So we're still well away right now from the 50 period moving average. So maybe there is some dancing that needs to sort of happen here. And if it does, then they found a dancing partner, because I'm here to see if there's, if we can hold out and get a little bit of a lower look on this name. So I'm just bidding in the 40s now to see if we can get another bid near the lows, and then we'll see if we can crack just a bit lower. So there was Rumble, there was Rigetti. I wanted to look yesterday because Warren Buffett came in and Berkshire made their largest deal ever and bought $9.7 billion worth of Oxy. It's their OxyChem.
It got mowed.
Yeah, it's one of their units, right? It's the OxyChem unit. So, yesterday it got hit, and Adair and I sort of came up with the idea that maybe they were looking for 10+ billion on the deal, and they got 9.7. I mean, I think that's good enough. I don't know. When you're talking about billions, I'll take 1 billion would be nice for anything that I own, but right into I'd take 1 million. How about that?
Yeah.
But Occidental coming in right now, $43. This could be a decent level. This is the daily chart. Just came into the 200 period moving average. It had been producing well for shareholders until basically yesterday. So that would be a name to look at here as, we can always look. Let's just see quickly. CLX, right? Oh, thank you, Randy. I didn't even see that you responded. Thank you so much for that one. Tesla shitting the bed again today. Randy, on the sheet today, I'll get to oil in a second. On the sheet today, we had 445 marked down right here as our short. Look, Tesla 445. On the sticky note, don't have it. But yeah, a nasty day again today, Randy. Yesterday, Tesla got absolutely crushed. Made that all-time high close enough to it at 480 in the pre-market. Now it's down $50 from that point. Still like the name. We'll see what it's doing. Oil. So let's go over to oil. CLX. So here it is. This is the light sweet crude for November. We'll have a quick look at that. Down to $61 again, but actually up 1% right there. But oil's had a little bit of a downside push. I know you like your XOM and CVX. The thing is, we just got a little bit of a tidbit in our ear that Trump's not happy with that deal with Hamas and over there.
Giving them a deadline.
Yeah, so we're going to wait to see if there's any sort of an actionable call on that for oil. But still 113, right? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. You get the dividend, but it's already moving a dividend payment today. So, that
Chevron had that fire as well.
CVX would be the other one. You're into XOM or CVX?
You're XOM. I'm CVX.
Okay.
Now, Chevron had a big.
Fire didn't really hurt them.
No, it didn't seem to hurt it.
You know what though? Chevron is really low right now.
It didn't make a really big move.
Yeah,
I think if it had made
low,
a big move, I would have tried to buy the dip on it.
200 period.
It's nothing.
That's a good look. I'm out of all my oil pretty much. I have a little bit of XLE left, and then we have Enbridge in Canada, but is it though? Yeah, I don't know.
I think we're getting to a point.
It looks like finally, I guess.
Just very quickly.
Did you get stopped out of Nvidia or your bid?
I got out. No, I bid filled and then got stopped out of the reload.
Because AMD.
And then I also just got out of Rigetti as well because Rigetti ran into the same resistance as the open at 37.5. So we jumped in when it broke VWAP. Well, not when it broke, when it held VWAP. So there's a hold of VWAP, there's the open to the next bar above VWAP, and then it's like it opens there and you go long, right? So I'm going to try to buy off the volume weighted average price, but it just was rejecting this 37.4 like we did off the open. I want to stay net long in Rigetti and just take as many plays as possible as long as it wants to hold on to the trend. But I did, so I got some out, reloaded, stopped, and now I'm short off VWAP in Nvidia. So I shorted underneath VWAP, which I said I would nibble underneath VWAP. It then broke that range, but now I'm shorting it to the volume weighted average price. You still haven't really broken out. And the other thing to consider is like the market overall hasn't had a green candle yet. I say yet. And the last test on the Nasdaq, I don't want an ellipse. The last test on the Nasdaq rejected the overnight low. So we pulled back, rejected support, turning into resistance. So to me, that means if you like something short, reload it. So as long as we're not breaking VWAP, I'm going to jump right back in here on Nvidia. And I did not miss Rigetti. I just got out of Rigetti maybe early. But we did long it off VWAP, that's fine. I've already been long it 3 times, and I don't mind 10 times today. It's just however many times I can find a quick little entry to scalp Rigetti. And the market goes lower. I think this has a good chance to go higher. As we said, QUBT, I believe, might be a hair stronger. Okay. I mean, I was about to say QUBT might be a little bit stronger. It's literally 22% up. So it's like a boatload stronger out of all those names. So QUBT, that is absolute insanity, the bounce off VWAP there. You just got 22.8 to 24.4. Where is this on the daily? This is breaking out fresh highs. That's the reason I like Rigetti. Rigetti was continuation off of a high break yesterday. This one is making some fresh highs as we speak. I think these are all-time highs on QUBT. Oh, no, they're not. Yeah, the all-time high is still over here at 26 bucks. So you could still break out an all-time high today if you go 10%, almost 10% more. You need to get to 30%, I think, on QUBT. But good look. I'm probably going to focus on Rigetti, but yeah, great look over there. So we got the reload on Nvidia. If this 189 holds again, then I'll just take the scalp trade for what it is. As the market heading right back in low. There still has not been a green candle on the 15-minute on the Nasdaq, everybody.
Yeah, we are. And that's to your point. I mean, we were just saying that we wanted to wait. I'm still holding 25%, Oscarito. So thank you for asking on that one. You know what? I'm not logged into Unity, I don't think, right now. So I can't. If you are calling for, no, I am logged into Unity. Okay. So if you're calling, I should be able to hear Andre. Yeah, so nice move to the downside anyways at the end of this. So let's wait to see where we're going, but the Nasdaq's still going lower, and then there is AMD. That's why I asked Neil, what his situation with Nvidia was, because AMD is finally trying to give it up just a little bit right now. So let's put a bid here in the low 80s. We're here at 81 actually again. So let's see if that gets filled. Hopefully the futures can continue their downside push. No real need to get out of it yet. We talked about this 50-period moving average to the downside. So we'll still hold on, hope that there's a bigger trade here coming potentially today. What's up, Adara?
What's up is Lithium Americas. It's not the super small market cap. It's around $2 billion, $1.85 billion, but it does have a 15% short float. Earlier this week, Department of Energy announces that it takes a stake in Lithium Americas, as previously reported, 5% stake in the company and 5% stake in their Thacker Pass project. But now we have USAR implying that they might have actually also been in talks with the government for some kind of collaboration. So rare earth plays very much on watch. Then we have PLUG. Again, not a super small cap, around $4.5 billion, 32% short float, though I must emphasize, and a nice little catalyst. H.C. Wainwright maintaining a buy rating in the stock, more than doubling its price target from $3 to $7. Last but not least, RGTI again. Sorry, guys, not a super small cap name, roughly 14 to 15% short float. And one of many quantum names in watch today, the sector has been strong this whole week, and QUBT in particular getting a price target increase from $22 to $40 from Ascendant Capital. So lots of these kind of smaller plays on watch today, even if they don't meet the traditional definition of small cap, tons of large movers. We're going to send you back to the guys after we thank our friends at Trade the Pool. With the Trade the Pool Beat Ackman live trading competition is here. From October 8th to 10th, every day Ackman makes his move and your mission is to outperform him. Beat his return. Prove you've got what it takes. Then the grand finale on October 13th. Broadcast live at Trader TV with Trade the Pool team live in the studio. So over $600,000 in prizes are up for grabs. That'll be our grabs. That'll be $25,000, $50,000, even $100,000 valuation accounts and surprise giveaways during the live show. So don't just watch, compete. Beat Ackman and win big. Scan the QR code to start trading. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara. Oh, right, I just scalped out of Nvidia again because it just wicked the low of the day another time. So yesterday's lows, I shouldn't say low of the day. Yesterday's lows. So got the VWAP, pulls right back in to higher lows, at least right now, as the market's trying to hold up. Ooh, Rigetti as well. RGTI left that bid in there at the volume weighted average price and then got picked up. So everyone's like, yeah, you missed a move on Rigetti. Well, it went to the high and we're right back into the VWAP. So needing to hold on to VWAP. This is a stock I'll take multiple shots in. So as the market comes back in, I do not mind if it breaks down and I get out, jumping back in at a better price. But I'm going to continue looking short the pops and scalp out. It's a Friday. So every time we get a pop in Nvidia, I'm just going to continue to try to short that one. And shout out to everyone looking at that open door. It's right back up at that 880 level. So now double top here on open door. This time it seems like it's going to go. To me, the short is the first time through. So I didn't short it because it didn't get to 880. Now I just think you're looking for a breakaway on open. Why not? I always say this on days where the market is weak. If you're looking for longs on days the market is weak, you're going to have to try to find them in defensive names maybe, or in like squeeze names, or in meme stock, small float, that kind of a thing. So I think Rigetti qualifies, open door qualifies, LAC qualifies. Just be really careful on anything that actually gives a darn what the overall market is doing, right? So that's why we're in Rigetti off of VWAP, but even this could fall apart at some point.
All right, so right now it's $2 in on this. We're just chilling, we're relaxing today. It's really nice when the trades actually work out in your favor. So there goes AMD, man. It's just a monster play. And then just to let you guys know, like this TQQs is still trying to follow. Now 106.13 might be an area for me to look at if we're concerned with all of this. But we normally say that we hit like our one-time daily goal. We're at 4 times that level right now. So, but we've sort of upped our level anyways. So let's just wait to see. We just got some more outs there on the TQs in this 60 area. So I'm going to bid another piece right there at 59. Not too sure, 69, sorry. Not too sure if the market is going to retrace too much back. But I said that I had about a quarter left. Now we have 20% left as we exited out a little bit more right there. Generally, I'll get out of like 5% now every time. I used to get out of 10, and I think that's been a little bit of a difference. It hurts when you don't get out of 10% at the bottom, but it helps you on the way back in. So I think that's a good one there. So right now we're $3 in the money on the 2 posted trades that we did have. I did want to find out what was going on with Marvell right there today. This is already broken out, and it's down right there, but that was 87.50 yesterday, man. Our most recent dip buy on this is $63 on Marvell, but we did buy before earnings. I still like the stock, man. We talk about OpenAI and all their servers blowing up or it's getting too heated or whatever that story was. Marvell can help that situation. So Marvell, nice upside play there as well. Okay, I'm going to get out another piece now. I feel like I'm getting out a little bit too much here, but as the market continues to go, all the stories are now baked in. We already have, I'm going to punch out. I'm punching out some 98s right there. I bid 92s and missed them. So right there, I remove liquidity and take some more out at 105.98. So that saved me right there 10 cents or so, punching out of some of those. Sometimes we'll sit on the bid and watch out for that, but I did want to punch out a little bit there. Get some more out here, just get some more out of AMD in case the whole market wants to retrace just a little bit. But we just bounced directly off of the 50-period moving average. So it's a good thing we just got some out right there. And I'm going to take out one more piece here at 99s. There it is. We get filled on that one. So we're starting to empty the clip a little bit right now. The math should be actually pretty simple. We now have 15% left. Exactly. So, well, maybe not exactly. I have to double check. Neil's the math guy, but no, I don't know. I have sort of an odd space left.
No, I'm just there. I guess technically.
Yesterday we had thousands of shares in the TQs. Today we didn't have that many, but we did have a big position on that short. Just wasn't. It was just a little too early for me to get blown out, I feel like. So we didn't go that hard. We did have a day yesterday where we lost. So we're back in it today. Didn't want to have those bad feels day after day. And like I said, man, I'm giving up going to my daughter's cross-country meet today. Sharif wanted the day off, so he's got it, and we didn't want to have
Marissa's there. You get video?
Oh yeah, Marissa's everywhere. I mean, I've been blessed enough to not have to have. Yeah, my wife hasn't basically worked since marriage, which she does everything for the kids, and bless her heart. I'm too busy all the time. Well, not all the time. We still do everything together. Like tonight we have hockey, and then we have hockey tomorrow as well. Baseball. We had chess last night. So you only got the one kid, and you're busy. So it's like at this age, especially 10 to like 15, 16, they're just all the kids are active at all ages. But
I was telling you yesterday, like we lost our morning babysitter for when my wife travels, because I'm out the door way too early in the morning, and so when my wife has a business trip, it's like if my parents aren't available, we're ish out of luck at this point. So, these kind of fun stuff you'll figure out. But just very quickly, just a quick update. There's still same level all morning long on Rigetti. It gets to 37.4. If you're trading the stock, it gets to 37.40. If it breaks it, it's been a topping tail wick. And as it gets there, you can see the selling come in. Sometimes it psychs you out and it goes a little higher. This time it gets a little bit of a curl. So I still like the dip buys as long as we hold on to this trend. If we can hold on to VWAP and hold this trend up, then I'm going to continue to go for dip buys there. Nvidia's not. Did I just type NVDA S? I did. Nvidia's not really getting back into the volume weighted average price, but the structure of the short's still holding. Like yesterday, range bound. So fail break of the high, then put in a lower high, then short pops. But if you notice, it never really fell apart. So if I'm shorting it because of that pattern, then I want to respect the pattern and try to grab the pops into the volume weighted average price and patiently wait for them to get there and then engage. So that's what I'm trying to do on those two names. Hasn't really changed. Open Door hasn't gotten to 880, unfortunately. Oh, USAR, that's the name that we haven't looked at. It's USAR.
Right. Well, we did look at it. It was 26 and change. Oh, wow. Now it's up 22%.
I mean, I don't know what nonsense I put down for USR.
Oh, I didn't write down anything for that.
All I wrote was VWAP hold. It usually means I don't really have a... Like, if I write down VWAP hold on my iPad, that basically means I'm favoring the long for continuation, but I don't know what else to do with it. Like, I didn't have a dip buy level for USAR. I didn't have a breakout price for it. And look what it does. Just holds on to VWAP and continues higher. U.S. government, baby. They don't lose.
So we're in like season 1, episode like 3 or 4, and good call on
what? Huh?
Not suicide.
Peacemaker.
No.
What?
No.
Oh, you didn't watch Peacemaker?
I've seen Peacemaker, but not the whole thing.
I thought you got it.
The Korean, the Japanese, Alice in Borderland.
Alice in Borderland.
What was the other one? Squid Game.
I told you. The thing is, it doesn't start crazy, but it gets really interesting.
It's starting pretty crazy.
I just find it. Here's my take on
right now
on versus Squid Game, Alice in Borderland.
I have a take on it now too.
I think Alice in Borderland is a little bit more creative.
Yes,
it's just more of a creative story. But
what I was saying with Marissa and with my son is that in why I keep saying that word, in Squid Game, it's you sort of know the game. Like it starts off, they go out, they find the characters, or on the street, the guy plays the games, brings them in, basically tells them what's up. There's 496 of you, one of you will survive, and this is the money, and blah blah blah. Like the rules are right there. In Alice in Borderland, it's just like it just happens. And all of a sudden, all of Tokyo is gone and all this stuff. And I'm not ruining anything. This is
you don't have any clue what the hell is going on.
No, it's like, and I'm just like thinking to myself, are they in like an altar? Like, is it just a mind sort of F and all this kind of stuff? So yeah, I'm really excited to see where it goes. So that's that's what we're watching. So that was a good call because I was like, man, maybe it's not as good as Squid Game and this and that because I wasn't really into it initially, but now definitely into it. So am I?
Oh, this is a good point. T Lee is fantastic, but it's more mature and more creative. I would also make that argument. Yeah, it's certainly
Pretty mature. Yeah, I don't know.
A little bit more mature. You know what? It's not as if Squid Game isn't, but yeah, I tend to agree with that.
There's a little more to it.
There's definitely
there's more of a mental thing to it. Yeah, for sure. It's enjoyable.
Oh boy,
I recommend. Alice,
so Robinhood breaking out the high of the day when the market's still weak?
Robinhood versus the market is not.
Please tell me SoFi is not doing a bad day again on this. Yeah, SoFi gets dumped again at the open. Maybe this is the turnaround.
Tesla's at 427. Are you effing kidding me right now?
SoFi just hit the 50-period moving average and is reversing. I might like this for a long. I looked at Robinhood and SoFi just bottoming tail wick, 50-period, all that good stuff. And it's already starting to break trend. So I'm going to throw this one up on the sidebar to go with potentially Rigetti on the dip buys. Because look, there's not much that's trending up. And so I want to find something else which is looking good.
Oh my God, don't tell me at least Oscar's going. This is a $20 miss for me. And it's just, the reason why it's an actual legitimate miss is like we were looking at this and I was just like, I should have just taken 20 shares, like something just because. Like Tesla all the way down. Man, like that was really, we had on here TQQ short 107, we have that. We have AMD short 170. This AMD short, by the way, is $2 and going lower right now. And then the Tesla, we have 445 written down. And then that trade like was available. It started, like we wrote that down when, the market was at 442, It ripped up. We actually showed you guys here. Oh no, we restarted our charts. But that level was right here, is what we were talking about, roughly in and around this 445, where we saw the top, we saw some tops there. And then yesterday we did the work, it sort of topped out there. Like it wasn't this is the thing. So we can ho-hum every trade. I mean, you can always look back and say, should I have that one? And it's just like, if I was that like loving of that trade, we could have been in it. And we obviously didn't have the spidey senses clued in enough for that, but that's fine. I actually loaded up my account this morning and I didn't like that report on Palantir. And I didn't get out of anything, but I think I probably will. Yeah, it's in our note, man. The U.S. government said that there was a hole in one of their foundries and just it wasn't working properly, or here I can...
Security flaws.
Security flaw, yeah. So that could have been... I looked, man. I mean, I've already gotten some out at this exact level, like 180. So we could get out some more. I don't think that there's a problem doing that. The biggest position for me now in Palantir is in my 401ks, like my RRSPs. So I really do believe in Palantir for the long term. So I wasn't really thinking about getting any out, but that's just another double top right there at 190. And I know it just came yesterday. So it's like, I don't want to overreact because that's the thing. I never sell stock when it's moving up, it seems like. I'm always panicking when it's moving down. That's why I always say anyway, some of these names like Nvidia, buy, don't trade, and hold, don't trade. I don't think that you need to be getting in and out of some of these positions if you do believe in them. And then if you do get out, take the advantage of up days to get out of some of these names, right? Like Eli Lilly's had such a huge move. Now it's up another 2% today. If you're thinking about getting out of Eli Lilly, and then I'm going to look back and say, well, there was a top right there, but I'm only going to say that when it's down here. And then I'm going to say, well, now I got to get out in case it doesn't come back up here. So take the advantage, have some price targets in mind, and then that way you can just put the order out, and then if it fills, it fills. And that's what we did with Intel, which, worked out. Now Intel's higher than that, but it worked out as it faded back in. And I don't think you'll be upset if you follow rules. So I think that that's something that we have to take advantage of. This just came right back up. So we did, again, just kind of like what we do on what I was just talking about, we also do it here on our account. As this falls back in, we are trying to take some out. So let's get a little bit more out here because we are at our pressure point now on, there it is, we get another piece out. So now I have 10%, exactly 10% left. I can do that math right now. And we have about 5% left of this trade on AMD. I mean, the AMD trades is the big one. I'll make way more money on TQs because I had more shares, but the AMD trade is the one that I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, not a great week market-wise, kind of choppy. But with this government shutdown, I think we all thought the market would probably be fine with it. I mean,
the history has shown government shutdowns have not been dramatic sell events if you go from the point of the shutdown. It doesn't mean you're up every single day, but it just means that it's not necessarily a panic point. I saw your super chats. We're going to get to them. We have to go to the desk with Adair, and we'll come back and address a couple super chats.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know here about Volato Group, SOAR. This one popping up here with decent volume, as you can see. This is a kind of minerals-related play, and apparently the company is saying that they are in conversation with state, local, and government, local, state, and national government to help partner to expand the critical mineral supply chain. It's worth noting, I'm seeing this quoted on X, so I'm not sure who from the company originated this comment, but either way, this comment is circulating, suggesting that the company is in conversation with multiple levels of government to help with this critical mineral supply chain. SOAR is the ticker. Back to you.
Gala Studio, good idea to short Tesla to 343 to close the gap. Well, that's a long way from here. You're obviously talking about a swing. See, sometimes you don't have to ask what your time frame is. Like, you obviously made a swing trade because if it went to 343 today, we got much larger fish to fry. Well, you think all the way back to the 200 period moving average? I mean, in a general sense, like in the shortest of terms, 400, and then 360. Like, look how long it held, and then this breakaway price set at the 360 level. Like, that's the spot. Like, I just look for like targets. Like, if you're, I'm assuming you're already looking to short this reversal move, right? And you're saying to the 200 period moving average. I like the 50 first because that's where you have confluence with this breakout on Tesla. And then we had another super chat. Tufo. Here, I'll show you. Tufo here. Looking at Tron Inc. All right, so I will always cop to this. Like, obviously, we look at Tesla. I've never looked at this before. It was the first time I've seen it. 20% spike and still going. So thank you for that super chat. Ooh, I do like this on a daily first. The only reason I like it is not because the chart's, it's not a very good looking chart, but on massive volume, you are breaking trend a little bit here. And for these like penny stocks, small cappers, a lot of times like that's the point where the risk to reward can get you in for like a 2-to-1 move, and then you just risk it to the bottom. Anytime I've ever done that, it's like you get out if it breaks the low. And I don't know fundamentally what gets us going. Typically, you'd want to have some kind of a positive catalyst going for you on something like this. And then just understand that at the bag hold levels, if you're not paying yourself, usually you can get burned. If you don't pay yourself out in front of 4, pay yourself out in front of 5, and then maybe let the rest of it ride. So hopefully that helps. I'm just looking for the re-entry into Rigetti on this trend. So it's a 3-minute chart, higher low, higher low, higher low. I probably missed a dip buy in here, and I'm still trying to buy it on the trend line and then work toward that 38 high of day here in Rigetti. Strong when the market's weak. We had to look at small caps for that today.
All right. I was just writing over here to my wife. Okay, so just getting some more of the TQs. So we're trying to punch out. Let's look for the next trade. Obi just sitting down beside us. Join Obi and Joe coming at 11 o'clock. And Neil and I teased this before, but you know, in the move with everything behind us, these desks being closer and everything happening on Monday, Neil and I will, you know, experience with all of you guys sort of a little bit of a new format coming for the show. So get ready for that. Both Neil and I are very excited to have that happen, and it's going to be coming live to you on Monday. We wanted to wait till Sharif, Joe, Neil, and myself are all here.
I thought you might have done it yesterday, and I was like,
I know, I thought so too, but our executive producer over there, Mr. Brendan Wickens, was like, let's just wait, because you know we've been very, very patient with everything happening behind us, and Adara was like had no idea anything was happening, so I think she got filled in. I still don't think she does, apparently. So you know, it's all going to be happening for you live on Monday, and it's a few different like format switches. So you're going to see all of that, and it's going to be really, really exciting.
You guys will enjoy it.
Yeah, Sharif won't be trading; he'll just be bench pressing all show long. So that's what he's doing. So that's starting on Monday. So that should be a lot of fun. So join us on Monday for
people probably would watch
a new kind of a format. Yeah, so that's what's going to be happening there. I have to lie, I got that from the Chris L. there.
Yeah, but the real question
So
becomes,
he'll be fixing his hair, he'll be wearing his glasses, and he'll be bench pressing.
Yeah, how come they haven't had that push-up thing?
And he'll be doing push-ups as well. Yeah, good point.
Like those two, and when I say those two, I'm affectionately referring
I will
to
bench press Sharif.
Sharif and Joe have had this push-up bet for like 1 year now that has not happened. Like it's getting a little bit ridiculous.
Well, this is what the show on Monday we're going to be showing off everything, and
because if
there may be a push-up challenge involved.
No, if we say we're going to do something, like I did the Bring Sally Up challenge
on Monday, maybe Randy may become a host on Monday. I mean, Randy, I don't know. How's the supervising going back?
Why is he holding a Swiffer?
Because he's cleaning up. He's cleaning up his new desk. See what I'm saying? Yeah, there is a lot of dust everywhere. Yeah, I mean, we're just sneezing around here seems very, very common. Tesla's still getting down.
You can say that.
Oh God, my mouse was almost not working again. It's funny because I messaged to Obi and he had a problem with his P Pro 8 today, and so did I. But there it is, nice move to the downside, 446 all the way down to 427, Randy. So it's getting hit a little bit, down 6 or 7% yesterday, down another 2% here today. Tesla getting kicked a little bit, but it's our AMD trade that is right now. Look at AMD, boom.
Rivian.
That's a good short right there. What's Rivian? Randy says, what's Rivian doing? It is getting killed right now. It was down to, not right now, but it was down.
It's not so bad.
It was up to $17 not too long ago there, Randy. And I think ever since we said we liked it, it's now down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 days in a row, Randy. Right back into the 200 period. Remember, they had their deliveries. They met deliveries and lost production? They beat one but missed the others. They beat on deliveries, missed on their production numbers, I guess. But again, they're working on that plant, right, in Georgia. So they broke ground on that.
It's going to bounce.
And then they have,
Buy those dips.
Okay, well, the dip is here, man. Do you like guacamole with that or queso? Because right there, I'm going to prefer guacamole too. If Rivian is your chip, then go for a dip because right now it does have those plays in it. All right, Randy, man.
Always guac.
Always chilling, man. Always guac. Yes.
Always.
Yeah. I would choose
guacamole is
all right.
Hands down the best dip. 10
Andre,
times out of 10.
Guacamole or queso?
10. No, it's not. You don't even have.
You're a guacamole guy? Okay. So it's 3 guacamoles. Let's get a poll up.
100%.
Which is your preferred dip? Adara.
It's not going to be 100%. But
queso or guac? I think.
I don't know. I'm good with either. I think maybe guac. I'll say guac. What's happening here?
Rob. We're just having fun. Oh, we're putting up a poll.
I think Rob just yelled out queso just to be funny.
If you have nachos, you prefer basically, you didn't really nachos or I don't know, tortillas. Yeah, guac. Okay, so we do have in the back Rob, I believe, was the queso guy.
Calling cap on that.
Obi, queso or guac?
That's cap.
Guac. Are you a guac guy too over there?
I like guac, but it depends what kind of queso.
Oh, shut up, Joe. So Joe makes it more difficult to get what kind of queso. I don't know, cheese-based.
He picked guac.
No, I'm just playing around with Joe. I'm going to give Joe queso.
No, you're not. He said guac.
No, but then he said depending on the type.
Well, if it depends.
So it's whatever type you want.
Did he say it depends on what kind of, no. He didn't say it depends on what's in the guacamole.
That's
he just said
Joe. That's what I was saying. Like this guy's always busting us over here.
Just admit that you like guac.
Well, it's going to come up and everybody can vote. And I just want to make sure, look, we're having a lot of fun on this, man, all the time. I just want to make sure that we give another thumbs up. I've already done it. And I just want to say cheers, man. That was a big super chat there. $500. You must be having a great week, and we really appreciate that. I'm Charlie Kirk. I don't want to say that because, unfortunately, rest in peace. No matter what side of the aisle you're on. I mean, we never want to see something like that. But thank you so much for that super chat. And, okay, here it is, man.
Can I vote 8 times? No.
You can vote once.
I can only vote once. How in the actual...
You dare me to do this? What should I do? What should I do? I'm going to be honest. I would go guacamole there. Ooh.
What's wrong with you?
Wow, 60-40. This is a little closer than I had thought, man, around these joints. Look at that. Okay.
I think sometimes the chat
AMD is still tanking.
Just has people vote this way, like because you're just, you're trying to be contrarian. I'm just saying. I think people just
People are voting the way they want to vote. Yeah.
Really?
Well, because it's too close for people to be. The contrary thing only gets a few people, right? Like this is now 400 votes right now, and it's still winning.
That's cap.
Very, very interesting.
Okay. No, just very quickly, someone asked in the chat, am I going to take a VWAP on NVIDIA? I just did. You just saw me in here at VWAP, but it's a little stronger now than it was before, because the last time I got the curl, it worked right away. I mean, instantly. This time it actually busted me up. But if he closed under the volume weighted average price, I might just jump back into it. But it was a little bit stronger this time. Still only want to short the pops. But I will say I missed out on Rigetti. No, Rigetti. Yeah, while I was looking at that, yeah, Rigetti's now breaking out the highs. So there wasn't another dip buy in Rigetti as it just continued to blast higher. 9% now on Rigetti. There's no levels to work off of at this point as the stock just continues to go higher and higher and higher. And I'm noticing now, like I got away from Intel. Like the second Intel wasn't holding support, I jumped out of that trade. So thankfully that's been a good idea. But look at 37. It's just going sideways here. So I was waiting for it. I mean, I wrote down 36.5, but 37's been holding very, very well. So I might just have a look at this 37 consolidation on Intel and go back to that well. So still really just looking at Nvidia VWAP. Hopefully we can find another long in Rigetti because that's been pretty solid to the upside. And then now all of a sudden Intel looking to break this little bit of a downward trend that it's been in. As we are going to Adara at the desk.
Yeah, we're just going to do a combined sector watch and money talks here because it is almost 10:50, almost time to pass over to Joe and Obi. Let's talk here about this sector board because even though there was a lot of weakness in tech to start the day in the Nasdaq, you really don't see that in a lot of the rest of the market. Eli Lilly regaining its dominance after kind of topping around yesterday, up 3%. Thermo Fisher, Intuitive Surgical, Danaher, and Johnson & Johnson, all really strong in health technology. It's actually hard to find a red name here. Consumer non-durables, with the notable exception of Philip Morris. I couldn't find any news on this. That one's down 4%. The rest of the sector is strong. Utilities strong. Health services incredibly strong after a pop yesterday for Humana and others. Good look for industrial services, commercial services, and finance looking great as well. We have to once again talk about tech. Electronic technology is a bit less directional. You've got some strength in names like Broadcom and Qualcomm, but the leaders in this space, Nvidia and Apple, are relatively flat. Tech services a little bit different. Microsoft, Oracle, IBM, all lightly red. Robinhood continuing its relative strength, but Netflix, Palantir, Google, and Meta, the weakest names in this space. Let's talk about Palantir and Netflix. Palantir down 4% and counting. The weakness in this one might have something to do with an internal memo revealing that apparently there are some concerns about Palantir and Anduril and others and what they're doing there with the U.S. government and I guess the security of that. Then you've got Netflix. Elon Musk lately has been posting quite a lot over the last 4 days about this name, encouraging people to cancel their Netflix subscriptions and claiming he himself has already canceled his. So interesting look there. Let's talk here about the U.S. dollar before we send you back to the guys. U.S. dollar daily chart. Pretty boring, nothing too exciting to report here. And it's a little bit hard to talk about the dollar without economic data. We know that we're still not getting that until the government ends their shutdown. Yesterday, some comments from Republican leaders indicated we probably weren't going to get any answers with regards to the reopening of the government over the weekend. They didn't think any real voting would occur. So without that, it's kind of hard to even give a timeline. But what I will say is we did get some data today. S&P and services and composite PMI a little bit above estimates. ISM services PMI below estimates. No NFP, though, unfortunately, which does put the Fed in a bit of a sticky situation because they really want that data to deliver a rate decision on October 29th. Let's see if the shutdown ends before then. Back to you.
I'm homesick. I literally have this, I was asking Sean what lunch was. And if I'm homesick, I basically am having soup and a sandwich pretty much every single time.
I'm not like if I'm homesick. I'm going to come with you.
I'm just I cannot be bothered to make it. I don't have the energy to make anything else, and that's literally as easy as it can possibly get. Soup and a Sammy. Soup and a Sammy every single day.
What soup was it?
Well, yesterday was a vegetable soup.
Okay, nice.
Sometimes I I don't mind a tomato soup, but yesterday was just easy vegetable.
Yeah, I would go with veggie there. That's a good call. All right. We need a button that says no gloat, just says good trade. There it is, man. We'll bang that out right now. Now we're $3, $2.50 in right now. Oh, by the way, Bitcoin is running right now to 121. So that's a money storm all week. Here, we'll do this, do something, because crypto right now, there it is, poke that 121 right there. It's a money storm right now. It's a money storm on AMD. The futures too, just pulling back a little bit. So we're going to take some more out as we get into the downside. Now 7.5% left of this one. Exactly. So that's a good call, I think. Anyways, we'll still hold on to the TQQs. I want to note Rumble. Rumble is at its high. So I pulled my order right there for Rumble. This is an area that I was thinking and mentioning about going short right there at $9. So I think that trade is available for you. I'm not going to lament that one like we do the Tesla trade. That went to 425. Oh my, right there. That's the missed trade. We would have been 10 times yesterday's loss if we just had that trade, but we don't. All right, look, 1.1K. We already have 750 votes on this poll that I randomly created a couple minutes ago. All right, it's not acceptable to only have 1.1K here on that. By the way, this is what I'm trying to tell Neil, man. I was like, Neil, man, Queso's going to have some love.
Apparently it's
for it.
I asked ChatGPT, and ChatGPT said it's mixed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the first words out of ChatGPT's mouth.
Yeah, so there you go.
Mixed. I'm surprised by it. I'll comment.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's not close to me.
No, I'm not surprised by that one, but I do get it, right? I mean, it is it's a very, very interesting discussion. But yeah, anyways, if you voted in that poll, please just hit the like right here, man. Just hit the like, hit the subscribe, and get involved, right? Because I think that's what we're looking for is just that engagement. So, hit the like there, hit the subscribe, and be part of our community. And thank you to everybody for doing that. And yeah, man, the polls that we have on here, we'll get one on the midday as well. Just having a lot of fun with it. So, again, thank you everybody. Over 550 or 40,000 subscribers in total now. And yeah, we're doing big things on this side. So. With only a few minutes left, the top names today that were on our board to talk about. Yeah, we'll get to those super chats in just a second. Just so you guys know, they'll refresh this. Refresh this on the midday, guys, when you guys get over there if you want, just to see if there's anything else going on. But DocuSign, that's a new name. I didn't even look at that there today. So DocuSign's on here. The Trade Desk, another nice name, bouncing at $51. Okay, Trade Desk had a little bit of a rough ride over the last little while. Robinhood just continues to. I actually should have looked at that because 150 always a key level. It's nice to see Open Door back near $8 again and over it now to 850. UNH, Neil sort of talked a little bit about that earlier. The one play that I want to check out is Oscar. We're still long Oscar Health at 1285, whatever it is. We're gonna have to check out if that's doing anything. OSCR, Tesla, UNH, LAC. I mean, congratulations again on anybody that's been trading the LAC game today. It's been an absolute monster. Palantir down 4%, so that's not good. We had that story earlier. That was the one short that I was actually thinking about and didn't put on that in Tesla. And USAR, the big one there, and qubits. And then also, funny thing here too, with Webull. So you talked about Robinhood, Webull, all that. Oh yeah, look, I forgot I could do this right there. So it's 24-hour high up to $15 today. So 9 million shares of volume. So thanks, Fabian, for building this. And it's just a real cool thing that we're providing visually. And those are going to be screens in the back. So that, we're going to be posting a lot of this stuff up on that. So it should be a lot of fun.
Give the whole
as we move forward. Look how huge that thing is.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, man. Yeah, I can't say that, Rob, but you are right on that. But anyways, big monitors.
Family show, Rob.
There. Yeah, he did a little Michael Scott on that. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's actually not that bad.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Floppy disk, Kyle. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Jacob Knight. We'll go one by one. I don't know. Look, firstly, flat trade on Nvidia, the last VWAP. I don't want to call it the last VWAP trade, but this is probably going to close above VWAP for the first time since the open. We'll continue to short it at VWAP. We got some 89s out, but it just starts breaking out here. So I don't know how many times you can go to the well. Eventually, this could decide to break it out. It might still give us another entry. We'll see. Thoughts on the IRM chart? So Iron Mountain, and then Kyle, Rocket Lab, Tesla, Rigetti, 0 day, 0 day expire, USA Degenerate. So you're looking at the 0 day options on all three. Well, those are three very different names. Rigetti is flying like a bat out of you-know-what. Tesla's tanking like a bat out of you-know-what. I haven't looked at Rocket Lab at all today. So those are very different names. Could just be a comment and not a question. And Jacob, can you shed some light on what the daily goal is? I know that's something. It's something I know Sean looks at. I've never really look at it that way because I think it's like, what does the market like? Some days the market might not move, and you never want to be chasing something that's not there. So I never have like a daily goal in mind. I only ever consider just don't get blown out. Like if I look at like the previous month, let's just say. Like I never want to lose, not your best day, but take like your second, third, or fourth best day, like those, like that second tier good day, and I never want to lose more than that. Like that's the way I look at it, as far as looking at what a goal. I only have one for not losing, but as far as like a top side, I just have never really had one. IRM, First of all, how many stocks are locally breaking out right now? That's how you know the market is good. Like it's always like breakout here, breakout there. I mean, absolutely. Like, what was the comment on this? It was, let me just double check, because I wanted to find, now the super chat's gone. This always happens. I wanted to see what the comment specifically was on thoughts on the IRM chart. So just the thoughts on it. Like, today is the breakout of resistance at 105. So on a daily chart, technically you're breaking it out, but you haven't really broken away from the resistance yet. So like a close up here above 106 is good, and then kind of breaking above this level, like 107, 108, like then you get the continuation play. Like, so it's starting the breakout here. You still need the continuation. Maybe it does like a dip, consolidative, but this is a good looking one. I typically prefer longs when it breaks the 50 and 200 period moving average. Like, I don't know the stock and I'm not interested in it like myself, but like I go for longs when it does like a dip into here, or just to close above the 50 and 200, and then I'd buy it on like this day. Like usually, like I'd probably buy it on this day usually. And then you give it to the 50 period or the 200, whichever one I think it's going to respect better. But yeah, it's a good looking chart for the daily breakout.
All right, so just quickly here, we got to go soon. So I took a little bit more here against the 200 period. If we break 106.50, we're out. So we just put that stop in just to wrap up the day right here. It's obviously been a great day. We talked about that. We're at our goal and much more. So it's been a really great day for that, and we're really happy. And again, thank you everybody for the super chats that we've had today, new member alert as well. Thank you for everybody for all of that. And then just keep it going, man. And then 1,000 votes right here. It looks like Guacamole will just eke it out right now over Queso. So I think that was a really good poll. Thank you everybody for supporting it. And again, just keep on having a good time. You're gonna go over with Obi soon and Joe. That should be a lot of fun. Those guys will talk about anything you guys want to as well. So keep up the good vibes right there. We're just 2 for 2 today. I'm not sure how many trades you've made over there or anything. I don't have anything loaded, but only three trades. So yeah, there's the reload. So this is the first time we've really done anything since 10:30. It's a new and improved, man. I'm being patient. We talked about it. I know Neil just talked about, not getting blown out or anything like that. We've had 6 red days in the last 40 trading days. So, we're on a good run right now, and we're just going to continue the positive vibes. And I want to thank everybody. When I say we, I just mean myself. So, it's been a good run. We did have a slip up yesterday, but we come right back in and do our day today. So that's what we've been doing. Again, I hope everybody has a great weekend. We're back at 2 p.m. So, join us then for sure for more of this fun talk and more trades.
One last super chat.
Yeah, go get the last super chat.
Yeah, because we're getting out of here. I want to make sure we get to the super chat, because then it goes to the next stream, and then I don't want it to be missed. And Bill Swirsky, super fan, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being a fan. Thoughts on PSTV? Very simply, I wish there was more volume on this. It's a 70-cent stock. For penny stocks, I prefer if it's at this time of the day you've already done like 50 million shares or 25 million shares or even 100 million shares. 8 million shares is not a lot for a penny stock, and it seems like a lot, 8 million in volume. That being said, you do have the nice bottom that got formed. It would normally be a breakout through 72. Like, look at that. Resistance to support, to resistance, consolidation. You break out the high, you're breaking the 200 period moving average. The only thing that isn't so great about this, like I said, is volume. 8 million shares is not a ton here, but you can do worse than look for the breakout and giving it to VWAP's 2 cents. And then let's see if it can ride a little bit higher. So I like the chart. I just don't like the volume on PSTV. Let's go. We got Obi filling in for Sharif.
Futures going down.
And Joey options. Go get them.
See you.